Hi, and welcome back to Eberron Borrowed Time. Last time that you were with us, the group went to try to. They were in town and were trying to find answers about possibly the cultists that had been following them and that they've encountered multiple times over the last several months, and also why the religion that those cultists followed is a much larger religion here in the northern of the continent of Forever. They tracked down a sage that had some information for them and were welcomed inside the White Spike, a huge, towering white building that is shaped like a spikes, going up several hundred feet in this relatively small town. Upon getting inside, the sage kind of gave them some confusing and muddled advice, answering their questions with short responses, before starting to climb up into the floor above and turning into a phase spider. The phase spider attacked, and they were able to dispatch it, but not before taking some damage themselves. And even more scary and threatening than just one phase spider, several of its young phased through the ceiling. There were fires started amongst all of the detritus and random crates in this hoarder's paradise, threatening many of the preserved foods that Duke had wanted to keep for their experiences. But they were able to take down the spider's offspring, and they found an old friend in the Foxer Druid Yuji, making their way upstairs to see what other survivors might be stuck in the massive groupings of webbing in the floor above. They also found Tenno, who they thought had just been out carousing in town. So now we will bring things back to you guys. You are in this fairly large room. I'm going to change the map for you. You are in the White Spike. If you remember, there was a fire up along these northern boxes. The fire has since been put out by large blasts of wind.
Me?
Yes, you. And the fire has since been put out, but there is still a little bit of smoldering and smoke filling the air. I'm going to go ahead and say you guys pulled Tenno's body, still unconscious, from the webbing and brought it downstairs, where you can get a better look at it. There aren't really any open windows upstairs.
Then you wanted to see how he roasted in the fire.
I also believe that you found the body of the actual sage, also unconscious and very pale and thin, and brought it down as well. So, go ahead.
So since all the fighting's done, do we get like a little short rest at least
So,
before we start exploring all the little areas?
short rest is
I take my friend to a doctor.
short rest is going to take about an hour.
I'm tired, exhausted.
Short rest is going to take about an hour, but as you guys are kind of taking account of what you're seeing and trying to make sure your friends are safe, I can see that would take probably about an hour to get everything balanced and take a breather. Yeah. So go ahead and take a short rest. So if you have hit point damage that you would like to heal up using your hit dice, you each should have a number of hit dice that you can spend that will be regained after a long rest. So as you are all level 3, you should have 3 hit dice. So if your hit dice is a D8 or a D10, D6, you'll get that many dice you can roll to heal back hit points until you have a long rest.
Why do I have to be a big, brawny, but squishy character?
It's a good question. Because that's what you chose.
I don't know.
Am I still exhausted?
So as you are taking this respite, we'll say that while other people are kind of moving around checking on things, you are actually resting. You can remove that points of exhaustion.
question with magic for healing. Is it that magic inherently heals, or is it that it just rather expedites the natural healing of the body? So that's why we have people in the world that are, I won't say crippled and like missing an eye, missing certain features, legs, arms. It's because unless you have a specific cure a limb, it's pretty much just an expeditious self-heal, right? Or
So that's a complicated question
So
because the rules don't really go into that on what causes a scar, what doesn't cause a scar, why damage to a limb probably won't maim you in this new 5e system unless it's specific damage or specific things. I've always gone by the rule, both the rule of cruel, but also the story rule. If you were fighting alligators in a swamp, and I critically attacked you and I rolled that it hit your leg, you might suffer a leg wound that when it heals doesn't heal right until you have a powerful magic that corrects it. Also, people that rely on healing skills but do not have the knowledge or the skill heal, sometimes that stuff may heal, you get your hit points back, but it doesn't always heal right. If they don't know how to set a bone or they don't know how to do
you'd be
that.
like, you just walk it off.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Specifically, there are people in the world that know how to heal you the right way, and there are people in the world that know how to boost your natural healing. So it depends on who you're going to.
How many short rests can we take before long?
Dog, you're fine.
Usually I think 2, 3 if you guys have been very out there. But if you spend like all 3 of your hit dice right now, you won't have any for the next short rest.
If you spend all your what?
your rests.
Your hit dice. You have 3 hit dice. You can spend.
Oh, not each short
Where
rest.
is it?
No, you have 3 hit dice per day.
Step in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm gonna use one then.
You also have a cleric now that is capable of healing people if they so feel like it. You haven't really played before, so a common question is, how are you guys doing? Does anyone look hurt? That kind of stuff. You also are looking over Tenno, who is still wrapped up unconscious, and the old man Sage, who is wrapped up unconscious, laying at the foot of the stairs.
Is there anything we can do to?
Did I free them?
You gonna slap them?
No, we've already freed them. They were just, they're broken.
No, they're still wrapped up.
Oh, I
partially.
thought we freed them.
The webbing is very sticky.
I could set it on fire.
You got a knife?
No! There's still
You got a
a
knife some and web tell them out first, so if anyone has a
See
clone,
what happens.
I appreciate that.
The problem is I only know how to
I
how to
probably
gut
have a
creatures,
phone. I could try.
not how to
I don't trust
loosely
any
cut
of
them.
you.
It's like skinning.
These people.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
I
trust
just
any of you.
I just skin off the skin.
I
If I skin off the skin, they won't be stuck in it anymore.
Back away from the unconscious people.
You guys gotta walk it off. Wake up and walk it off.
Back away.
Don't worry, I sharpened this knife 2 years ago. This will be good.
It's mostly for your rest.
Yeah, the teeth are for gripping.
It was coming all the webbing off.
Okay. Make me a survival check, please. What's up, Malcolm?
Nothing.
Okay.
I
Would you like to see how they're
19.
doing?
yes.
19. It takes you a little while, and you're still taking that break. You know, so you're not expending
Not
too much
concentrating
energy.
on
You're kind of doing it, taking your time, but you're able to free them from their webbing. It's very,
I looked at it.
very. It adheres very, very well.
Wait, did he free himself?
If you close your eyes a little bit.
So he was mostly free of the webbing earlier. He was. You're not wrong. Yuji's fur does have mats of webbing now, but it's not something you haven't been able to clean out before.
Yes, but did he brush himself?
I
off?
gave
She gave me a clone.
Oh my gosh, this was brushing himself.
You can't ask someone
Can
if
I
they brush
please check on
themselves.
the two unconscious people?
Please roll
Please, it's
a
personal boundary.
medicine
Please, I
check.
can brush myself.
Alright, yeah, roll a medicine check.
Start licking your paws.
Actually roll 2,
I'm a
one for
fox,
each
right?
person.
Okay.
Okay.
Would it be considered cubs as
The
children?
giant.
Yeah.
I think cubs.
Yeah.
Wolf cubs. Fox cubs.
22?
So I guess that goes in the
Kids.
what
Yeah,
questions sound racist but aren't.
Are you considered a cub as a kid?
The kid.
First one was 22.
Oh, a kit. It might be a kit because you're a foxer.
First one was 22.
Go with cute.
First one is
That sounds
22.
right.
Okay, that's plenty.
It's funny because then we have a kid
Next one
and a
was
kaboom of
25.
stuff.
Okay, that's very well. You're able to see that they are both poisoned, and while they aren't immediately dying, they are going to have a hard time waking up. They also, it seems that they both need a lot of rest in someplace very comfortable and that has sunlight and air.
Alright.
And on
A
the fence, I'm
barn.
pretty sure we can all use a nice
No.
rest if someone comes along.
You know, poison, that's dangerous to your health.
Can I please,
Or fun.
can I use cure wounds on them to like,
Oh, sorry, with those rolls, you also note that they're only missing a handful of hit points.
You regain the use of
okay,
abilities.
but
So they
I
just
thought
need
it was
to
about
sleep
the
and
poison
sleep.
And
stuff.
you're allowed to expend one of your community hit dice. You gain hit points equal to the value of your constitution.
Okay. Well, you know what?
So
I'm
you
gonna
roll
start like
plus the
trying to
constitution.
free
Oh,
them.
plus the constitution. So I rolled a 5.
I guess
And
I don't
I missed 6.
No!
But I didn't add my
Why am I
constitution.
getting
plus eight.
schooled by the young
Oh, okay.
one?
So I'm good.
So
Because
just
you're
saying,
making questionable decisions.
the short rest, it's your hit dice plus the value of your constitution modifier.
Yep.
So not just the
Oh.
dice.
Thank you.
Which-
Oh,
Sorry.
really?
Do that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big difference.
My apologies. Yeah.
Are we playing roll
Anyway.
die plus constitution or just a roll? Just a
Hit die?
So it's
Whatever
going to
your
be
hit die is.
whatever your hit die is.
Roll
If
it.
you have 3 of them, so if you decide I'm going to spend 1 this short rest, it's going to be you roll that hit die and then you add your Constitution modifier
So mine's a D8
plus
whatever.
1 probably
My con
minus 3.
plus 3.
Wow,
What?
Yeah.
you're a healthy little goblin.
Yeah,
But
you
and I
are.
have plus 4 dexterity, minus 1 strength.
Oh,
Oh,
weak
okay.
thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'd actually end up. I am tip top shape.
Yes.
Can I
Just take
please
both of
start
those.
cutting the old man and our friend out of the web?
No, that's what Yuji was
They're
doing.
I
Oh,
thought
I
he
was combing
was
myself, man. I
brushing
combed them
his-
too.
Oh, I must have misunderstood.
He's coming the web.
I had you roll a survival to cut them free,
Oh.
not
okay.
to comb
Well,
yourself.
I quickly fixed myself and then I cut them free.
Okay.
Of course, I fixed my hair first.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah. You gotta look good.
I'm sitting there. This is the best gel ever.
Do we need to drag him
It's
outside?
not my hair,
What you're
this.
saying?
Put all the
So
weapons,
in the
just
end,
like
sunlight, fresh air will be 2 of the really good things to help them.
We'll
But
be at
they-
Bernie's then.
They need rest away from this place.
Do you even know what
Do
that
you-
reference is?
Do you say that?
What's the next
What?
number?
Do you say that to anyone,
Before.
Dari?
What?
2700.
Oh,
Do you tell
yes.
us?
We're getting close. 24.
I say they're going to need rest and some place to
Sunny.
stay, fresh air away from here.
Haven't they been
Alright.
resting for forever? They're already asleep.
I think we can all use some fresh air.
Okay, yeah. Let's say
They've already
A
been
barn.
asleep this whole time.
How about we take them back to the?
there's fresh air in the stadiums. We'll prop them up, make it look like they're watching.
Let's take them to the inn instead.
It's like a long walk. We're already here. Maybe there's a bed in
What's
this
your
place.
alignment?
I'm gonna lift one of them.
There's no minions.
I want
There's
to
no
climb up the
minions to do
stairs
it.
and see if there's a bed up there. Because, I mean, he used to live here, so there's obviously beds here.
As you climb up the stairs, because I don't think you have been up the stairs yet,
I had not.
Would
you
like to
see
heal
a
or not?
floor roughly the same rectangular size as this portion of the. Do you see my mouse?
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. This portion of the floor above,
Mhm.
right? The walls are inclined a little bit because the shape of the building is a spike, but it is covered in thick ropes of webbing. Give me a perception check, please.
Why are you going up there?
Just them.
Well, to see if there's beds.
Getting
We
through stuff.
are.
As far as I
You're
know,
outside.
was anybody going with Duke?
No.
I'm not going
Then
up
yes, Duke by himself.
Okay, so there's no
There's more
minions. We're
spiders
gonna
up there.
start carrying the guy out, even though.
I just got out of the door.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not
Give
going
me
back.
an athletics check,
Oh
please.
dear.
Okay, I'm athletic. I.
12.
You get smells, especially because of your goblin and actually sailor background. You smell alchemical smells. And looking around, kind of underneath the patches of webbing, you can see that there are a lot of tables in this room that have various chemicals and what may have once been boiling cauldrons and that kind of thing. You smell almost like aged chemicals.
Can I look for any? So I know there's a chemical stuff in the ingredients. Can I look specifically for any already sealed, corked bottles, potentially labeled of any kind of already pre-made mix, whether or not he mixed them himself, wrote it with a wax pen? I guess that's another lore question. What would you write with a wax pen on there, like on a bottle, if you were trying to like mark it, or would you put paper and then ink it over? Like, what would be a quick note on a vial that I'm like, for my own personal use? Because I mean, I don't think I would, if I was going to make a healing potion at home, I don't think I would package it up like the store where you've got a label on it that looks super fancy, trying to sell it to a customer. I'm just like, fix her up. And
Has a little
It's a long question.
puppies.
That is a long
that's two
question.
separate questions, but it's
So,
one's practicality of
it
the
looks
world.
like as you were kind of actually making your way through, roll me investigation. So the way I'm doing the difference between these two rolls is if you're kind of rolling to see if you spot something, that's going to be perception. But if you're actively going through a place, it's going to be investigation.
So Grokdar's going to look around here to see if he can see why this spider was up to what he was up to.
So
18.
you're checking the downstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'll take investigation over.
You find that most of the bottles. Here's this. Most of the bottles. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Most of the bottles and vials are actually empty or dry with thick, what may have been liquids in the bottom, like caking the bottoms of these bottles because they've been overcooked or they're sitting here way too long. However, as you are kind of going through the room, you find a small pouch, leather pouch, that is stained in areas. The leather is stained in areas, and it's got a flap over it that's fastened with a wax seal. A small, partially burnt note is tucked into the side, and that's the note you find.
Hope he wrote it down.
No, it's written in common.
Unless I took horrible notes, I'm trying to remember offhand if I should know who that addressed to person is.
No, not that
Okay.
you know.
It's not that I'm just like.
Yeah,
this-
no,
Okay.
not that you know.
I would like to.
The package is about this big.
I would like to investigate to make sure, I guess, or I'm trying to find the role for disarming traps. I want to look and make sure this is not like gonna explode upon opening.
So, it would be a perception check.
Perception check.
You could also, so it's going to be a perception check because you're a rogue. You also have thieves' tools, correct?
Which, yes, I do.
So that you would use those to actually disarm something you found.
If I find I found something. Okay.
You can also use them to open things, hoping to catch something you didn't see. Just letting you know.
Yeah. I'd like to do that. Was that just would that be with advantage, or how would that?
The opening it or the perception?
Yeah, opening it with
It
tools.
it normally opening it you wouldn't roll. Any traps you didn't find would just go off.
Mhm.
Opening it with your thieves' tools just gives you the capability to try to not set things off. So
Okay.
it's not with advantage, but you roll with your proficiency. because you're proficient with thieves' tools. Proficiency, I think, is +2 for you guys still. And then plus your dex bonus.
Plus dex bonus?
Yes, so for you, I believe it should be +6.
Well, my dex bonus is +4.
Right, and
so
then
+2. And my perception as well added onto that?
No. So, if you were going to look for traps, you would roll a perception check. If you were just skipping perception and going straight to, I'm going to open this thing with your thieves' tools, making sure you're being careful and using your picks to, then you're making that roll separately.
Okay.
You were looking around downstairs.
Yeah, roll the 6.
There's a lot of burnt crates down here, and the smells are kind of overwhelming. You see now, there's a lot of things in these crates. Right near the ones that were burnt are crates of fireworks, possibly saved up for the coming holiday.
Oh.
You also find several crates of very elaborate costumes depicting several of the nations of Corvair, as if they were brought in probably for this holiday as well. Most of these crates look to be about the same age, but the smells coming off of some of these burned costumes could choke a goat. It's bad. But you're not able to really find anything about the phase spider down here that you can see. Yeah.
So roll 19, total of 25.
As you are kind of levering open the leather flap and breaking the wax seal, the leather flap flaps back, and you can see there are 6 vials. 6 vials inside. Each, most of them are different types of glass or different sized glass vials, but all of them are stoppered the same.
And I would like to see if I notice offhand which they are. So it would be knowledge, medicine.
You can try knowledge medicine, yes. You don't recognize any of these mixtures. And the writing on them is in either some language you don't understand or arcane marks that you just don't have the training to understand. What are you doing now?
Since I'm downstairs, I'd probably investigate some of the broken crates too.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an investigation roll. You two drag both of the...
Did you get our rolls?
No, what rolls did you have?
I rolled a 7 and they rolled an 11.
As you two are searching downstairs, you see that Dari and Vodka are trying to pull the sages and Tenno's bodies outside. You can see that especially Vodka is having a hard time of it and has whacked Tenno's head up against several of the crates as she's trying to pull them around the corner and outside.
I don't do the heavy lifting. I have people to do this.
The sage seems smaller and you're a little bit stronger, but you're able to get the sage outside a little bit more carefully, even kind of lifting him through parts, but it's not great. By the end, you're fairly tired. Vodka, by the time you make your way outside, you kind of just drop Tenno against some of the overgrown garden that's outside, and
It's like sunlight. It's like a flower.
take a deep breath from that,
I'm breathing.
collapsing some of the plants outside.
Are the vials secured? So if I were to put them back up, I don't have to worry about.
It looks like this pouch was meant to go on someone's belt,
Okay.
so they're all strapped in individually and well packed.
I attach it for now, and then I'll continue to investigate after. I'll be investigation or I pretty much see everything up there.
You pretty much saw everything up there that you could.
I guess then as a extra perception, do I see stairs to a higher level, or is that the roof?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Well, what if I made my fire all silver? Would you like it better then?
I'm going
7.
You do not see where stairs might be. However, you also remember that the stairs you just came up were a ladder that he had to pull down. and the roof here is higher than you can reach by yourself.
Maybe if I had someone throw me
What did you roll for
I
investigation?
couldn't hear
right
a
in my
thump.
soft
14.
14.
I couldn't hear a muffled thump.
Tossing time.
As you're kind of making your way through, watching Rockstar look through crates, you start opening up other crates. You find various books and scrolls that have been laid out, and in one far corner, this corner over here, you see a bunch of what looks like older fruit and vegetables that was in the process of getting preserved, but was never finished before this fate came upon him. So much of it is now molded. There is a table right next to that that had a large glass container, which has since been broken, and a like a label, a handwritten label on the front of it that said that says something. You're not entirely sure what that
Do I
says.
recognize it?
Roll me a medicine check.
Was it cucumbers? Because that'd kind of be a big deal.
That would kind of be a big deal.
15.
15. 1 second.
Calm down.
It would be.
That was a medical check, so maybe medical cucumbers?
Trust me, I have a card for my medical cucumber.
It's kimchi. You can
That
feed it to him.
sounds tasty.
Maybe like just tongue depressors or kidney green?
I feel like I'm just standing outside covered in
I'm
I did a medicine check, so I figured something
some
medical.
flowers
Yeah.
because I had to work up
This is
a
obviously
sweat. Are you
medicated
kidding me?
celery.
I need to fan off. This is not.
Sounds
for when you have sea ache.
Please lay down and
Arachne
shut up.
ethereal
Fine, as long as you did work.
spawn.
In the dark of my
Is
Arachne
which-
ethereal spawn.
Arachne ethereal
Ethereal
spawn. And you can see there's small bits of webbing and what looks like maybe what was a
Egg sac?
an egg sac,
Is
but
it
it's
really
been
open?
broken open. Yeah.
No, you're like.
And it's a bit too small for what just attacked us, right?
It looks like if it was what just attacked you, it was a baby at one point.
So either
And
those
and
things
there's an
grew really
open
fast,
there's an open notebook and several open scrolls next to it that would lead you to believe he was
Get some sun
studying.
too. You seem like you need to relax.
Can I just grab those books then and I'm just gonna like back away
They're
slowly?
like
Sure.
looting the corpse
sounds-
of the smart
How many books and
spires,
scrolls
so
are
we're
there?
just-
Roll me a d4.
I'm getting some
28.
sun.
You didn't even get what my number was. Eh.
One.
You know,
There's
someday
one
it'll
book
be good enough
and
on
3
the
scrolls.
unseen survey.
Alright, I'm gonna grab that.
And
Then I'm just gonna start walking back towards everyone like, so either we just killed what came out of that bottle, or we should go before whatever came out of the bottle just comes back.
See, you're out here with me being smart and getting some sun and helping.
So the only
people
person that
whatever,
knows this
while
is
they're
Kendall,
playing
'cause I'm
with
upstairs.
bottles and letting
They're out
spirits
there.
out.
Roll me a percent. I don't think you were you quiet when you said
We
that?
don't even know this is happening.
Oh no, I
So
told
we're just like,
I'm not
Doesn't
You
told
said
them.
it. You said it out
You're
loud.
chilling.
Yes.
Yeah,
You-
but I'm
you-
also
are you
upstairs
having
You're up-
anxiety?
rattling through
Maybe
bottles, trying to figure out
Anything
anything.
there.
roll me a perception
It
check.
looked like she murdered
Um.
someone. She's covered.
They're alive and they're.
Oh, now you'll
breathing.
work 20.
Like,
Oh yeah, you heard him.
what we'll do is we put a hat. Okay. You have one of these hats. These cool hats. Remember the cool hat with the thing? We're gonna put it in. So we're just gonna put it over
Please
their
just
eyes,
let them rest.
so that looks like they're taking a nap and not like we killed them. Okay? So
I think
it's not suspicious.
I think Vodka is saying that she wants to weekend at Bernie's.
Yes!
Tenno and the old man.
Just let them chill while they're
sounds-
getting the sunlight they
that
need,
sounds like
and
a lot of
no
work.
one will be suspicious. It'll be fine.
How many brain
Oh,
cells do you have
sorry.
rattling around in
You
your
also
skull?
Like 3. Go get. Oh, we've got to take care of
you
the
also find
He needs
a
attention.
small
It's
chest that is kind of heavy but locked, and it was sitting underneath a table near the door, near the front door.
Would it be wise to leave vodka
I wonder what's in these sacks.
No, I don't want to
Mine?
in their gross, grody stuff that's been sitting with their old icky
I
self.
want to go look at the books.
Okay.
I don't trust leaving you alone.
I'm
guess
just
the other
starting
question
it.
is,
I am
what's in the box?
Whether you leave them alone is beside the point. I think we should go. Because
I'm
I've had
planning on
enough
stealing
spiders.
Nothing.
You're laying down. Get
I
up.
yelled,
Your
Tenno.
neck is still sore from where you were
I'm
bit.
guarding them.
Well, it's bit.
Yeah, you were bit, which is why you were upstairs. And you have the same poison these guys do, but for some reason, possibly your more
I'm
rare
guarding them.
species might have protected you a little bit from the
Just look,
overarching
I'm hoping
effects
to
of this
fit in
poison.
because if someone comes up to
I
us
yelled down
and
to
like
Tenno.
tries to talk to us,
Tenno!
and two of us aren't
think
talking,
Tenno's- I think
so
Tenno's
one of
passed
us
out.
is like,
Passed
dude,
out.
seriously, don't mess
That's
with our
Groktar.
chill.
Oh.
Leave
Groktar!
us alone.
Tenno
And
doesn't
if
hear
there's
you.
one person who's with us, so we're cool.
You hear,
Just do what you have to. I'm good.
alright, if you're gonna do it because we're getting a lot of crosstalk.
I'm good. Sorry, you guys. Go to your thing.
So I ignore him and I'm gonna go carry one of the passed out people.
They're already out.
Do
Oh,
what?
they're out. They're out.
Well, we're gonna
Oh.
leave, right? So we have to take them with us to the.
Yeah, the two, these two, and the two unconscious victims are laying outside in the garden.
No, they're
so I'll
not
pick up
laying.
Tenno,
They're having
and we're gonna
anxiety
take them back
attack.
to the
Alright.
inn. Do I need to roll anything to pick them up?
No.
Okay.
You're strong.
Can I carry
Oh,
that
look!
chest?
I told you I had people who do this.
Yeah.
Carry-
It's a little kind of unwieldy, but yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking for any papers now.
I
Okay.
didn't set them on fire.
Specific papers or
So I guess I found that, and I want to see if there's anything that is tied to the note. So anything that's addressed to, or a journal that might have their name on it, so I can
Okay,
kind of get a
sure.
little more
Okay.
background of who that person might be. A genealogy of the town.
It's
Is
all
that
dude
investigation?
in the
investigation.
tower.
Investigation.
That's all they need to know, right?
What?
It's all dude
8.
in the tower. It
You
likes spiders.
you see there are several like sheets of paper, but all of them have been kind of left in this heavy webbing for who knows how long, and as you try to peel them away from the webbing, they either tear or completely like self-destruct.
So
The webbing has completely fused to them.
they look like they're, from what I can gather and hearing the noise, everybody looks like they're going to be leaving. So are there any loose batches of books I can just throw in the bag and go and like, well, maybe I'll get lucky and something will have something. Since I can't specifically find anything.
Go ahead and roll me a d6. Because there's a lot of books up here and bookshelves up here, but many of them are covered in webs, just like everything
Yeah.
else.
Well, I'm trying to think of anything that's loose. Anything I don't have to spend time getting. It's just like, throw it in, let's go. 6.
You find 3 books.
Okay.
That you're not sure what they are, but you're trying to hurry. They're relatively loose. You have to pull away some webbing, cut them free a little bit, but you're able to get them out, and they look pretty much untouched. Whereas everything else has been pretty.
Is anyone to carry the old man or what? Am I gonna take both of them?
I'm carrying his
He's
chest.
heavy.
Can I try to pick up the old man again?
What's your strength?
My strength is 10 plus 0.
10?
Oh my gosh, am I
I'm
gonna
only
have
at
to
16, but I don't know how
Huh?
many means I can carry.
I'll roll again.
If you have over 14 strength, you can carry him and don't have to roll.
Oh yay, I don't have to roll.
Okay.
Then I can do it, I guess.
The old man is very old.
You get 10 of these.
Just don't break his
Yeah.
bones.
Even if you could wake him up, Tenno has a concussion.
We yell
so.
to the guy here. Dude, let's go! And we start heading out.
The sounds below you slowly get quiet and die off as the rest of your party kind of heads out.
I call out, I got treasure!
Oh, you did?
Well, I was already.
Everyone
going in,
stops.
so-
Bring it with ya!
Oh, way ahead of you.
Awesome.
Wait, ahead of you.
Ah.
Alright, so
Well, I see them walking away and bring out your dead.
Please, we're gonna get.
It's not
we're gonna
dead
get
yet. I didn't drop it.
arrested.
No,
You guys.
we're doing a public service, okay? Like disposing of the dead is a public service.
On the way out of the area, on the way back to the inn, I picked some fresh vegetables from the garden. as
Okay.
we go by. So
That's
a
what
tomato here, a cucumber there, a couple of
Don't
peach
do that carrot patch. That's where we dropped 10 out for a little while.
As we're walking away, I just make a comment. Should we set the rest of that building on fire?
Ooh, can I?
No. It's still the old man's home. He's still alive.
Well, here's
Hey,
the
the
thing, right?
old man's already right
But
there.
it's
I
like-
think,
Wait.
we saved him, so he
Old
should feel
man,
happy.
what
about
do you
it.
think about us burning down your spider-infested hole?
Before-
Hoarder's hole.
Doria's slowly
Murder.
pulling out her mace as she's losing her grip on sanity.
Before we get too far away and we lose sight of this in case someone comes back to destroy it, didn't the Healy one sense life? Can't we just have her go walk around the floors and see if she senses any more of those spiders? Then that way we know ahead of
Okay,
time.
fine.
If there's,
Can you check and see if there's anything
You
alive
guys
in
get
there?
them back. I will go back and check.
I'm gonna stay here walk with her.
Famous
Yes.
last words.
Yes. Please go check.
I'm
By
going-
yourself. Send the rest of the party.
Hey,
I'm
the
going
big
back to
strong
take this
ones
plan.
with the weapon skills and the great stuff with sorcery.
All right. So
Let's go.
you're gonna stay. Duke's gonna stay behind.
Yeah, with her. So we can do. I mean, if you
Okay,
can
so-
do a radar for help for people,
Yeah, go
then might
radar
as well
for
go.
Do
people.
you
and
still
see
have
if
that? What the spell level is that?
The spell level is. Let me check.
Short rest won't bring it back.
Well, it depends also how long it is too. If it's like an hour, then we definitely haven't hit that mark yet.
They took. Oh, I need to go through and actually talk to them about spell use because right now they have all the cards and they just feel like
Say,
spending them.
this is what I prepped in the morning. I promise.
Who?
What level is it?
What
Oh,
level?
Victor?
Level
I
one.
think she's
How many
still
level
one.
one spells have you
I'm
cast?
carrying
yet?
the old man.
I know, but we have an extra
I
guy. It's just
remember
not just standing there.
casting Magic.
What other
Okay.
guy?
Victor?
Oh,
So
he's walking
we need to
behind
start
us.
keeping
He's
track
on
of that
He's on.
because you're not
He's
an
on
unlimited.
autopilot.
You're not an
So in other
unlimited
words,
power
he can
source.
auto carry.
How long does it last?
Oh fuck yeah!
How
he
long
can.
does it last?
He's
Up
auto carrying
Up
it
to
for me.
minutes.
Oh,
That just helped
oh,
the
it's still
That's
oh
what I'm
no,
saying,
no, you were here for an hour.
They don't like it
You
when
short
do
rested.
that.
So you'd have to cast it again, but that's probably going to be your last first level spell. Since you haven't been keeping track, it's going to be your last first level spell
So
For the day.
for the day.
Vodka
Yeah.
realized that Victor's been following us around on autopilot and just flipped the old man on him, so she didn't have to carry him.
Victor goes, that makes sense,
Yep.
and he takes the old man and carries the
Carefully.
old man back to the went way in. Okay, you guys, it's an easy path. You know this town fairly well over the last little bit. You weren't here very long before you were kind of spider napped.
Abducted.
Yeah, abducted. But you guys find your way back to the inn pretty quickly. Duke and Dari, you focus, and again, if you remember, you're opening yourself up to be able to the auras and to be able to sense the nature of beings around you. You get a whiff of what smells like cinnamon and maybe like spoiled fruit, and you're looking over and you see Duke standing next to you. You know deep down these aren't actual smells. This is your mind and your soul converting who Duke is as a person into an observable kind of smell. So overall, an interesting and not bad smell. However, there is a little bit there, possibly from his past or his future, that make you question a little bit. As you are focusing your thoughts into the rest of the spike, what's the range?
The range is.
After I get the look from
It just says south.
It should have a range of how far you can see, how far you can sense.
Oh wait.
As Duke is a-
30 feet.
Okay.
as Duke gets the look and I'm like, hey, don't give me that. I've already got someone.
I don't think I've ever seen a tiefling quite have that look on their face before, but okay.
You make your way upstairs into the spider infested area, and you see a couple other what look like humanoid shaped bundles that are neither good nor bad because they are long dead. Roll me a perception check.
Can I burn him yet? Because I came back, by the way.
Oh, you did?
No, because
What?
Oh,
you're
okay.
taking the old man there, and
Okay.
I figured
Alright,
I'd
you
help
come
my
back.
buddy.
You come back to an empty room.
No, no one's here.
Rajbev, because they're both above you. What'd you roll?
I rolled like a.
Right here?
Hold on. What is it? Perception check?
It's a perception check. A 9. You're walking through, like Duke, you're fairly certain there's probably a pull-down stairwell or ladder to go to the next area, but you don't see it, and it could be that it's
Covered by webbing or
it's covered by webbing, probably. However, your sight goes up, or your sense goes up 30 feet, and that covers about 2 more floors, and you don't sense or smell or hear or feel anything good or bad from those areas above you.
Can I cast light?
Yeah.
Is that
As a
where
matter
the
of
birds
fact-
are coming from?
You probably should in the future. It'll help.
Yeah, it'll probably help. So, Tari casts light because, the room is dark and.
So, the way I really want you to
Warn a
describe
goblin.
it.
No.
I really want you to describe it. But the way it usually works is you have to cast light on something.
Oh,
A
okay.
coin, a stone, that nail, whatever.
The
You-
goblin.
what did you do to my hat? Ah!
Can I do that?
The goblin is currently wearing a light blue fabric hat that has 2 bright orange flowers where the goggles would be if you wanted to do his hat.
They'll find me. They'll find me.
My hat's on fire!
Dude starts running
But
around.
you have to take something that you're
I would like to depart.
the tips, sure.
Yeah. That's adorable.
Yeah.
I would like to cast light on the tip of my horns to create a.
Okay.
Do I see the light from downstairs?
You do.
don't even have to roll
As you're
perception.
walking through, you're kind of. I thought they were gonna be here,
Wait,
and
I
then
set this
the
on
dark,
fire.
the dark square of that ladder lights up, so you can see stuff up there again.
Okay, I'm
I
headed
should have
that
been
way.
having you guys roll perception with disadvantage. That's my bad. It's something I need to get back in
Can
the
I roll
habit of doing.
perception again?
Roll perception again.
Yeah. So when that happened, because I'm assuming it's not a verbal incantation.
Oh, that was something else. For the people who cast spells, because I don't usually have so many of you, on your spell cards, under. Can I see what your
Is
spell
it
cards?
instant? Is it?
Actually, would they be rolling disadvantage on perception if they're not dark vision?
I have dark vision.
I have vision.
sort of dark vision.
No, they wouldn't.
Low light vision.
But most of the group doesn't.
There's
have that.
verbal and what's S mean?
Actually,
Alright, so under components, this goes for you too. Under components, if it has a V, it's verbal. If it has an S, it's somatic, which means you have to move your hands to be able to cast it. And if it has a C or an M, it means it has material components. What I would like from you is if you're casting a spell that has an M, tell me what you're using. For example, your spell that has an M is mage armor, so maybe you have like a piece of leather that you squeeze in your hand when you cast it, or an iron nail that you press into your thumb.
The dark vision one is a piece of dried carrot.
That's an
It helps with
example.
your eyesight.
Yeah. So just try to get into that casting, right? If it is, also keep in mind, if it is a concentration spell,
I don't think mine are.
because a concentration spell, you can only have one of those up at a time. Right?
Because you're concentrating on it.
Because you're concentrating on it. Alright, so,
Because that depends on how
I
it
will-
reacts.
Does it matter how we decide
I,
to do our schematics or movements? And I
No.
will make sure that they're family friendly.
if you want to get into somatic or verbal, that's all good. That's a good fluff. But for your material components, I would like you to talk about what you're using, because eventually you're going to have to buy more and acquire more because you're using
I figured the hand seals will probably be more like Naruto ninjutsu. Just.
it.
So, let me go back.
Okay.
Dahari reaches into her
That's 100%.
satchel and pulls out what appears to look like a silvery scale.
Okay.
From a glowfish.
She reaches back and on the prongs of her horns, she gently rubs the scale, and from that light, she says light, and the places where she rubbed light up.
Cool. I like it. I like it. Do you have dark vision
I
or low light? As a goblin, you probably should have dark vision. But I don't remember.
I rolled a 16 on my next percent. Wait, no, fuck. I forgot to add the
Family show.
family show. I said fudge symbols.
dark vision.
Thank you.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Yeah. With the light especially, you see it is covered by a little bit of webbing, but there is a ladder similar to the one that was pulled downstairs when you guys first arrived. So you're able to pull it down so that you can climb up to the next.
Up I go. Time to see what's up here.
As you
I
pull,
knew there was one here.
as you pull down the ladder, roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, do my
Roll saving death throw.
As you pull down the ladder, Vodka, you hear a ladder upstairs being pulled down. Did you say something when the light came on?
More of a shock. Like, ah!
Okay.
You didn't tell me ahead of time.
Yeah.
All I just hear is light. Ah!
Have we made it back to the inn?
It takes you a little bit because you're crossing town. But
Are they getting weird looks?
they are also kind of working
It's a
slowly.
party.
You guys arrived back, and you're following because you had been at the other inn. You guys are you're following him, Victor and Rothgar, and you make your way back to the Wentway, the Wentway Inn, and you see the kind of larger orcish. He would call himself the innkeeper, but really everyone knows it's his partner that's the innkeeper. But there's a large orcish man with just above the elbow a brass cap placed over the stump of his arm, and about a foot and a half past it is a glowing 3-fingered hand that he's currently using to clean out mugs. That he's now using which part? Mugs.
But the hand looks like someone would cast Mage Hand on the cap.
It's like a permanent mage hand that he uses. And as you guys come in, he goes, oh no, the 7 be damned. And he sets down the mug and comes out to help you as you're carrying these bodies in. Tenno, I told him if he was walking out there all alone that time of night with those people, he was gonna get caught.
Well, you know, Tenno. That's awesome.
Right.
I don't think we've had the graces to meet you, he says.
No, he put his ball on.
And goes to peeling back Tenno's eyes to look in his eyes and looking at the old man and goes, oh, Morren, that's not good. He's so, well, aged. Very old for a human.
Himself.
Thank you for bringing him in. We'll have to go get some of the healers.
Should we take him to a room or?
Well, I mean,
I'm starting to feel a little guilty because all the others are kind of back there with all the spiders. I told them to torch it, but it's taking them.
Say we were leaving. They didn't want you.
I mean, we could stay.
I mean, what's more important, taking the people that are unconscious to get rested, or go upstairs?
Go upstairs, obviously. But I have this nagging thing. It's almost like a pain in my neck that we should probably go
You
back.
really go back up there?
I don't want to.
I'm not going back. I'm seeing if these guys are coming here.
he sends a runner that's a young, maybe half-elven boy. The boy is very small but has a slight point to his ears, off to run and get some of the healers from the 7-sided temple. to help look in on them. But you know that that's not a short walk or a run, so it'll be a little bit. Pat brings out a small platter of food for you guys that looks like maybe it's a leftover from breakfast this morning, but she can tell there's going to be excitement here today. You guys back at the White Spike.
Yep.
Ooh, I have my
might not
shiny
physically
reindeer
be there,
horns.
but I'm there.
What was that?
I have my shiny reindeer
Yep.
horns.
As you climb up the stairs, Vodka, you're now on the second floor
Yes, I
with
am.
all the webs. As you guys climb up
Set 'em on fire.
to the third floor, you see that this was most obviously a bedroom floor. It is about the same size as the floor below it, but again, slightly smaller with inclined walls because of the shape of the building.
So we didn't have to go all that way. We had bedrooms here. I knew it.
But it is a bedroom that has 3 beds. One is a slightly larger bed that looks like it's been used a lot more recently. The 2 other beds are slightly smaller, as if they were maybe children's beds.
Oh.
And it
One
doesn't
of
look
them
like
was just right.
it doesn't look like they've been slept in for probably 15 years.
Oh.
One has an engraved name above the pillow, the dusty and kind of falling apart pillow that says Both, B-O-T-H.
I know a boss, that's all.
Oh, and the other bed says Shirley, and they're carved in. You can see that there are some toys laying on the blankets, and while very, very dusty, it looks like the toys have been moved recently, as if fondly observed. You see a chest sitting at the foot of each bed. The larger bed that's been slept in most recently, the blankets are all...
No. Come on. What are you barking at?
The blankets are all askew, and it looks like various stages of plates with dried food on them sit out on parts of the blankets and the floor around. And various notes, books, and scrolls are kind of folded and open around the blanket as well. Many, many, many candles burnt down to nothing litter the room at this end of the room, as if somebody stayed up long nights reading and eating in bed by themselves.
I cast Detect Magic Weapon.
Wait, can you cast it?
No.
No, he can't.
I cast Detect Magic Loot.
These guys are all about taking this stuff, huh? Poor guy.
I
that
didn't
lost
say
his
anything. I want to burn it as a memorial.
I guess
He's not
investigate.
dead. He's not dead.
You also see on the side
He's
table,
not dead. Never
on the
mind.
side table amongst the other plates and books and stuff, you see a small painting about the size of someone's hand that is propped, and it has what looks like a young man, a young human man, a beautiful elven woman, and 2 smaller children, a boy and a girl.
Aw, man.
And the painting is very aged. You can barely tell what it was, but it's pretty easy to pick out.
I guess investigate the not really moving in the scrolls, but kind of just seeing if there's a trend to what the scrolls are. If they're like, I guess, magical in nature. Like are they talking about spells? Or are they mechanical? I'm talking about mechanical war weapons. Like what the genre
So-
contents of the scrolls are.
Give me another investigation roll. What are you guys doing?
I am looking around the room, trying to see if there's yet another thing, but also Jahari's feeling a little bit sad because
10.
oh no, this is because puzzle pieces are being sort of
Roll me a perception check.
10.
10.
Am I still a floor below them?
No, you catch up. You see that it looks like the majority of the books and scrolls are the kind of basics for arcane magic. Possibly the equivalent of like a send away, mail away course for learning a skill.
Ooh, someone's dual classing.
But these are obviously, even as a rogue, you can tell these are written by a con man. Like, anyone who's studying this stuff is not going to learn magic.
Do I find any
And you can see-
necromancy-like spells?
You can see that the majority of what she's been focusing on is not necessarily straight up necromancy, but how to capture, keep, and
Souls?
souls. Yeah, spirits. But obviously failing heavily at it. Because
Step one,
it's,
burn incense.
he's just a con man. Yeah, it was obviously a con man. What did you roll?
20.
Oh wow.
Wait, I rolled a 20 to be 23.
There is a window, very heavily shuttered, above the largest bed where all of this stuff is, and you haven't seen it before because it's very small. You see dangling just above the window and into the window is a small silver flame pendant on a leather table right in front of the window. Give me a religion check, please. You shouldn't even need to because it's where you're from, but I'm gonna have you roll it. Yes.
I'm looking for law books.
Law books.
Yes. I'm trying to
Local-
figure out how to loophole my way into legitimizing my country.
He is a sage. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Why
14.
do I find... So why on the scrolls does it made by a woman, Connie Main?
14.
Nice.
It's in the name.
You know that. So you're where you're from, the country you're from, right? Is pretty much all Silver Flame. They all worship the same religion. You come from an actual practicing temple, so there are a lot of effigies and no tiny pendants. You have huge paintings and stained glass and areas where you worship the silver flame and giant silver flame. You know that the everyman, the normal people that worship the silver flame, usually do it through very small pieces of silver that have been taken from that home country and forged into small flames. So this is actually a piece of your homeland, really. But it is probably what, if not him, probably his partner or children used to use for their prayers and devotions.
Two
Yes,
questions.
feel it.
One, since we're on the third floor, does she feel anything to the fifth floor?
Oh, thank
and
you.
Two, does it resonate with her soul?
Very good question. As you kind of reach up and you're looking at it, you feel a warmth within you of home-baked bread, of that feeling of a rainy day where you're in cuddly blankets, of the
Sulfur.
sitting on a loved parent's lap as a child listening to a story. Like it is home. It feels like home, and it brings that home, and you're feeling all of the prayers and devotions of this family that went into this pendant. This isn't just a bauble they hung up because it looked good. Nimoy,
Zero to 100.
Why?
this is something that was actually used in their prayers. As you are looking around and sensing, it looks like something here on this floor kept the phase spiders from going past this or any higher. You're not sure what, but it could be the faith that kept the phase spider from coming up north. But you don't sense anything evil above you.
What?
From this room itself, the only smells you're getting are the smells of the dried, kind of moldy plates.
What happened? Like you can. Her heart sinks thinking of what might have happened to his family.
And just keep in mind that while she might feel a certain way, she also doesn't know. And she doesn't know what Duke found unless Duke is out loud saying what he thinks and what he found with the scrolls and books and
I
stuff.
mean,
Why are these by Connie Main? This makes no sense.
what?
What are you doing, Doctor?
I'm looking for law books and I rolled a 18. I rolled a 16 plus 2.
It looks like, roll me a d4. You find shoved underneath a table in a corner, there are 2 leather-bound books keeping the table propped up. And underneath 2 of the legs are 3 books that look like they are basic law and trade for
Vegetables.
vegetables.
No one respects the law.
Canned food law.
Canned food law.
No, that's not how it. Well, I don't know. You never know where you'll find the loopholes, okay? You never know.
It's an export. We need to produce exports.
So, I just wanted to remind you guys,
Loopholes, bodies are not exported.
the country you're in is Karnak, which is the northern country in Corvair, the continent you're on. Karnak deals with a lot of the undead, and the undead are actually part of their belief system and part of their culture. They're part of their government.
Our pre-fighting or pre-sessions before this one were the south of this, right?
Correct. In the Talenta Plains.
Was it because this is where we have the necromancer lords that have armies of undead?
Yes. And it's considered, for most people in Karnath, it's considered a last honor to have your body be used one more time for the country. And so there are a lot of zombies and skeletons in the Fort Zombie and Fort Bones that belong to people of Karnath that died 50 years ago, that are just still soldiers, undead soldiers holding it up. So, the fact that you found some of these books and studies on necromancy, and some of these mail away, learn how to be a sorcerer, learn how to be a wizard books, there may be a reason this sage is in Karnath.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
If you're like a really good soldier before you die, are you like higher rank when you die?
No.
When you're dead? No, you're just like.
Because you're literally just a skeleton.
Are they all just skeletons? Isn't there like a rank system?
Give me a knowledge history. Or a history check.
And then roll knowledge necromancy.
Actually, hold on. History? 20.
Wow. You have heard that when, upon reaching some ranks in the Karnathi army, and some ranks in the other armies that went up against the Karnathi, if you were a high enough rank, sometimes you would get raised as skeletal champions, or different types of skeletons befitting your rank and your abilities. As a sorceress yourself, a studier of the arcane, you know that's less of a who you were in life and more of a what the
Essence of you.
what the spellcaster is doing to that corpse.
As a respect, like you did really good, so I'm going to put more energy into your corpse.
To
Oh,
reinforce
that's.
it.
I like that because there's
There
loopholes
there
around
are
that stuff too.
there is folklore across Corvair of people that traveled all the way back to their home of Karnath to be raised into a special form of undead, only to be turned into a skeleton like all of the others.
Are they disgruntled once they figure out what they are, or do they
Nope.
not know what they are?
They are skeletons, almost all undead, are mindless.
Hive mind skeletons? Not even
Mindless.
mindless? They're
They
just being
they are
controlled.
under the will of those commanding them.
Puppets.
Yes.
Okay.
Little more than tools.
But are they good tools?
Yeah, I mean, they're effective.
They're effective fighters.
They can be.
It's all how effective the
I think that I
necromancer
might
is.
Would I have the authority to create a pact with them so that we could legitimize by using their army?
Perhaps.
Okay.
So I found that all I find are con books, scrolls. That's what I looked at in the top layer. I don't know if I need to do another perception, but kind of like just flip through, make sure that's pretty much all there is underneath or bottom. Like basically, did he start with something that was real and then started adding as much as he could get, and it all ended up being con stuff on the top?
It seems that the majority of the books and scrolls he has up here are attempts for him. He was trying to apply to go to the various academies to learn. He wrote to several powerful wizards after the war to try to become an apprentice, even though he is an older man. And usually these letters of correspondence have replies back right near them that are in the negative because of his age or because he does not have any magical ability.
Okay. So after I see that, I would like to see if I see an entrance up that's obvious or not.
So as you are looking around, you already rolled for that, correct?
What?
For the entrance, for the ladder.
Uh-huh.
And you see Dari reaching for the next ladder up. As you pull down this ladder and the light from your horns lights the way, you can see that this next floor is all storage. It's an attic. And it looks to be, even though the white spike goes up much higher than this is the top floor. And all of the stuff that was put up here 30 years ago. It looks like some of them aren't even labeled with his name. He wouldn't be strong enough to load up put these crates up here anyway.
Can I investigate
Sure.
this stuff?
Mhm.
So, Dari starts moving to investigate what's in this attic.
Roll investigate. You guys are at the went way in. There's been a little bit more ale and food set out. 3 healers from the 7-sided temple made their way back with the runner, and they are looking over Tenno and Morren, the sage. And they let you know that Tenno just needs rest, and through help of Teak, but also maybe a little bit help from you guys and Victor, they carry Tenno up to an empty room, and Victor decides he's going to stay there with Tenno to make sure Tenno is safe, and if he needs anything when he wakes up, that kind of thing. The old man, however, is not doing as well, and he's on the brink of not coming back. He was poisoned. He was captured and poisoned long before, almost probably first. And for some reason, the face spider kept him alive, unlike some of the other bodies that you know are there.
Would it cure wounds help him?
It might. It looks like the
It's just
healers.
with all these healers there, if they haven't brought him back.
Most of the healers here, as you were kind of watching over them, it seems they are more of the
Set up on the table.
apothecarian healers, and not so much of the arcane or divine healers.
Like someone.
Are they using leeches?
Not yet, but you see that as one of them rolls out a medical kit, you can see a vial that looks like it has leeches in it.
You guys see that?
Okay, I can't take the words of this. We got guys back there who probably fending for their lives off of more ghost spiders back there, and they're bringing leeches. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on them so we can get back over there.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
As you bend over the old man and cast your spell,
Better
do
wake
you,
up, old man.
do you want to describe it?
Right. As the healers, they're on the side, probably like playing with their vials and everything, trying to see what works. I just walk up next to it and look around real quick and start get a little close and start casting Cure Wounds.
Are you watching?
Sure.
Okay. As you can see that he's doing his thing, and you're kind of being a lookout, you know? You can see that the man's frail, paper-thin skin seems to almost thicken a little bit. He was nearly the color of your shirt, and you can see pink starts coming back in his cheeks and his eyelids. You can see that his body even twitches a little. It was very cold, but you can see that warmth is coming back a little bit to his extremities, and you can almost see the pulse in his neck pick up a slightly stronger beat. He's still unconscious.
Does he look stable?
But he looks far more stable. You also see an arm that had been kind of laying strangely off to one side. There's a pop as the shoulder pops back into place.
Peter Parker is just turned like, what you doing?
No,
But
we're
yeah,
like, we're awesome.
he seems like he's in a much better space.
Alright,
It
I
was
just turn to
gorgeous.
Victor since he's just standing there like, don't let those quacks touch him. And then I turn to Rothar. We gotta go.
Victor's like, there's no ducks here.
Victor, who was standing at the top of the stairwell, because she's near where Tenno is in the room, nods to you, and then keeps an eye out.
For ducks.
And then I just speak up. Okay, looks like all he needed was some rest. Probably give him some juice, maybe some acorns. I don't know.
A little bit of
But
broth.
I'm gonna grab some of these carrots and everything. We gotta get going. I got some guys back there who probably use a little help of ours because we're the big guys. We're the strong guys. And they can really use our help.
What are you doing with like the 30-pound chest?
Oh, I leave it with Victor too.
Okay.
He's been holding it the entire time.
Since he's just there,
He's
I
like,
our
he's
droid
like
right
casting
now?
magic while also holding
after
it.
you put the Tenno and the old man down, I give him the chest. Like here, keep you busy.
Okay.
We can't open it, right? You need
We can't open
you need
it.
a thief for it.
I like to imagine he's just sitting there just holding it.
He
the entire
shoots
time.
it with his hand cannon.
Oh,
I got it open, you guys.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna start
picturing a strongly
making
worded
my
letter in
way
my
back.
brain.
yeah, I'll head back too. But I'm not looting
I'm
anything.
gonna convince my mom to go with necromancy for our
The guilt is just too much to me.
The guilt of looting the guy's place, or
Is
Knowing
Our
that the rest of the
country-
guys are back there with
country we're in is
possibly with more
legitimate, right?
spiders.
It's legitimate, but it's not technically
Personally, I think we should
one
go
of
to
the accepted countries in the
To the
truth.
ground.
In the truth
But-
authority.
do they respect them as a
Do I go
country?
back unconscious?
They trust them. They respect them. The Truce of Thronehold respects Droam as a country enough that it doesn't.
No, I'm
Try
talking
to
about
take
the
over
one
his
we're in
borders.
right now.
Karnath?
Your Karnath is like on the opposite side of Corbett. They probably don't think of Droam.
I'm just saying, is Karnath considered
Oh, I'm sorry. Karnath is one of
One
the
of the
signatories for the throne.
I'm thinking of my my argument against the anti-legitimacy of my country is if the undead are considered people, why aren't we?
Because most of the country isn't undead. They
I know,
just
but their
use
army
undead.
is too. Their army is.
Anyway.
I can write what I want.
As you guys make your way outside, it has gotten warm. It's probably in the high 80s, low 90s, which isn't hot, but it has also started to rain. It's one of those rare hot rain moments where the sun is still out, and you can see that there are people, merchants out there rushing to cover their wares, and people out dancing and that are normally out in the fighting pits that they're building, and some people are rushing to kind of put away some of the gear that they don't want to rust before the event in 2 days' time.
This is gonna be horrible on my fur.
Yeah,
You
you're
just
not having a good fur day.
I rolled a 12 on investigating the second.
As you start going through the boxes in the attic, and I'm assuming you both are up there too.
I haven't got up no.
Okay, are you going up there, Basha?
No, that looks like
Okay.
climbing and stuff.
As you start going through boxes, you see that most of them are literally ancient stuff, just old moth-eaten curtains.
Clothes that would have probably
Clothes-
been fine.
Clothes that are like 200 years out of style. Like stuff that's been up here and old and moth-eaten and forgotten for a long,
It's an
long
attic.
time. It's an attic.
Nothing interesting.
Very, very old
Um,
picture painting, hand-drawn paintings
Yeah,
Can I see
very
if-
true.
Can I see if anything catches
hidden
my
underneath
eye?
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
in the corner.
Just as you're looking out over the room.
Didn't expect them to investigate so thoroughly, did you?
Oops.
Well, when you roll it in a
I messed it. Okay, let me just roll on the couch.
You can roll on the couch. Well, if you roll it in there, just roll it flat. Don't have it angled.
She's got a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, it's because you're using gigantic dice.
Awesome.
Take the rest of the dice out, put them on the edge of the table, and then you use that for the dice. But don't lose any of them, though.
You're being stubborn on
I said the
purpose.
edge of the table.
It worked. I rolled 20.
Okay.
It
As
worked.
you were, yeah, I know. As you were going through and looking through the items, you see a something that kind of catches your eye for a fraction of a second. Something flashes in the kind of light of your horns going over the, but it's on the other side of the room. It looks like it's sticking out of a box all the way across the room.
I'm interested to see what the view from the window is. If it sees what part of the town, or if there's like temples in its view. I should see what if I open up the window for where the spike is. Because you said there's a window right at the bed.
Yeah.
What perspective does he have?
As you open that window, you hear a loud creaking. It is these windows have been like barred shut
the
for
woodwork on it
for
is
decades. You push it open. It has an amazing view of the town, and off in the distance you can actually see the river.
do I see any of the chapel that was up in the woods area?
Opposite direction.
Okay.
This looks south over the town.
We're gonna be in this building for weeks. Seriously?
Well, I wanted to see if I could see the temple, and if I saw the temple, if I saw people
As you
Oh,
open this
so?
window,
there, well, then I would know because we were gonna abandon it, and I wanted to see if
as you open this window,
Yeah.
the small pendant that's hanging near the center of the window lights a flame. It looks like it's burning.
Note these.
I try to poke it. Is it hot?
No.
No. It's just ethereal burning.
It looks like it's on fire, with white flame. You see
Are they finally burning
3
everything?
urns
I don't know.
and a mat laid out in front of them, and the mat has been kind of kept clean. The urns have been kept clean. There are pictures and small toys set next to the urns. Candles that have burnt down. This is not something to get. I'm trying to help.
No, you
There's candles that have been burnt down, and you can see stacks of what look like leathers that have been written and rolled up and tucked in around the urns. Like it's a dais, like a
An altar, but
like an altar. Altar. Thank you. It's like an altar for these 3 urns. Back behind where if somebody was sitting on the back behind it, you see a crate that has a whole bunch of odds and ends of weapons and weapon-like materials, as if the person who lived here was like, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. There's a handful of throwing daggers that have seen much better days. They're ancient and rusty. But you see sticking out, sharp side up, is a mace. It's the only thing in this box that looks like it's in
Masterwork edition.
masterwork condition. Like it's shiny, it's clean, and it's almost like a bluish steel in color.
What about all the tear stains in front of the altar?
Oh my god.
Dust has really collected on that, so you can't see that layer.
They just sound like caked up.
Is this
I'm
little
going
time?
to-
We've been little time.
I wish you would
Fire Sparky. Fire Sparky.
Alright.
guy. I wish you would unhappy.
But it's obviously nice. Happy unbirthday. You see that it really looks like this crate was just literally things somebody just did not care about and just threw away.
Should I gently put this?
Okay.
And while she's picking it up, you hear
It
"Hey, holy lady!"
you
Oh, no.
you pick it up, like you pick it up, and it is perfectly balanced from where you're holding it. It wouldn't have been normally. Usually a mace, the weight is very heavy. This seems very like insanely balanced in your hand,
Perfectly
You've got
balanced.
the
as everything
violence
should be.
goblin
as everything should be.
cleric age mace.
I gently put it back, and then I look down. I'm being very careful to not to.
You give the mace a couple really good swings,
She had a couple runs.
breaking the urns,
Dust
Who are
everywhere.
you?
dust everywhere.
Dogs and
Always
cats
is
start
the
living
same
together.
person that plays kidding me. I don't understand.
All right.
Well,
So I
okay,
hear,
So like, I'm being careful on there, and then I look down, and then I like, because I'm assuming these are the family members.
Probably.
You're not taking them with you. Keep them
I'm
where they are.
not taking them with me. I'm kind of like,
We're robbing everything about this old man who is still alive,
Hey,
including
bring them into
his
his
family.
room. Hey, we found these for you.
Where's my wife's mace?
I'm sure you probably lost this up in your attic.
Where's my wife's mace? The last thing she used in her life.
She died to save us all.
She
She's
carried-
the only reason I'm alive today.
She sacrificed herself with this for the mace, so that way I may have it to help feed the children, who also then were mugged and killed by the muggers, who then took the mace and only after.
Fires are bad.
All right.
And then you hear
I
it.
carry? Is it like, do I have candles with me?
Yeah. You probably have a couple candles with you. Yes.
So you hear a "Hey, holy lady."
Hey,
Yeah.
holy
One
lady.
moment, and I take out one of my candles and I gently set it down to
Okay.
a place where it won't burn anything else.
Probably with the rest of the other candles, the melted
Yeah,
down
With
candles.
the rest of the other candles, and I gently light it
Okay.
for the altar. And
I
then,
could
then carry.
It
then-
flickers very like a lot for like
Ominously.
5 seconds, kind of, and then burns perfectly fine. As it was flickering, you can see it flickered silver for like 5 seconds, and then it goes back to burning like a normal candle.
May it rest forever. And then I go down.
Okay. Are you gonna lift the ladder again,
Uh,
or you leave it down?
I'm gonna lift the ladder back
Okay.
up and reach into it.
You guys make your way back to the white spike. To the white spike.
Do they see the window open?
You see way up high. You see a window open, which was not open before, and it looks like a small beacon of
Light.
burning light is almost in the center of that window.
Is it
Hey, they are
shaped like a
lighting on
grail?
fire.
It's shaped like a what?
A grail?
Nice, nice. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was our beacon. It just happens to be grail shaped. No, it is a round window though, and the center of it is burning, so it kind of gives it this ominous. The
Halo.
whole thing is white, right? The whole spike is white. Then there's a black circle with a white burning. It almost looks like an eye.
Okay.
As you
Nice.
make your way down,
I have Sauron.
Yeah.
Dari, as you make your way down to this floor, you see that pendant hanging in the window because Duke opened the window.
What about field, Jim? Is there like a?
Is burning like white fire, like fire. You understand?
I was saying when it turned on, would she have felt the ominous from like the sense?
Nope.
No, nothing.
It's not. It's giving off the same feeling and smells you had before.
It smells
What
like
did
him.
you do?
No, nice. No, it smells like warm bread and
I didn't know
feels
if it
like.
amplified when the fire
Oh,
turned on.
it might be a little bit more.
Because if she was
Yeah.
up there and all of a
Did
sudden,
it turn on good or did it turn on bad?
It's not bad. It's not anything. It's just. This pendant showing its
I'm
absorbed
detect
faith.
plot. I'm gonna roll for detect plot.
Okay.
You can need to roll 100.
I don't know. Oh. I see.
When do we do our break? I don't remember.
It was 8:30.
8:30. Okay.
That's what I was waiting on.
Okay, so you guys make your way up, I'm assuming?
No, I'm just hanging out there.
Okay.
waiting for him to come down.
Yeah,
You can.
I'm looking at Duke.
I'm
I
walking
am.
up,
What
and
did you
I'm
do?
eating like a carrot or something. So I can eat, I'm like snacking the whole way back.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up
I'm
on
trying to figure out the
crate.
strongly worded letter. Busy.
Roll me a d6.
Roll a d6.
Yeah.
I go.
5.
I can-
You see, it's filled with costumes. They look like Braylon costumes. They look like.
I'll just
I think it's just
I'm
sitting on it.
there, just
Okay.
sitting next to it.
You just-
I'm not really going through it.
Oh, you pulled up a crate.
Yeah.
I thought you said you pulled open a crate.
No.
Okay.
You gotta work on your colloquialism. This is 5e. I go, and she just looks at me like, it's like, look, you gotta stop looking at me like that, alright? You got your fire, you got your whatever there, I'm already taken, Duke out! And I go down the stairs.
Oh,
And I just
I'm
really-
stuttering like, what did you,
I agree, jump.
why?
Can you find?
But she,
For a few seconds.
So do you think that if we like had silver flame skeletons, would
It's
you
the landing part, I don't
legitimately
understand.
think that? Do you think they would be cool with that?
Duke makes his way down and sees the guy there.
That's
Yep.
exactly
Look,
what we say.
I can
See
deal with
if she puts
spiders,
a-
I can
Hey,
deal
you
with
think
tickling
we
and
could
exploding
deal with-
spiders.
I know the silver flame and my people don't get along very
When I
well.
start getting those
Silver
weird
flame
eyes from
skeletons
this
would be
lit up
really
horns
cool. I
lady,
think that
I'm
would
out.
really be awesome.
I'm out. I go back in the garden and I'm
There are
starting
so
cold
many
food,
dead
and I'm like,
people in my country.
alright,
Well,
I have magic.
What did we
people are
corrupted?
used to,
I don't
so
know.
There,
I'm just
you
saying,
all
like,
you hear rumblings from Duke of like,
that would be like
you know,
legit.
con man,
I think he says stuff like this when he's gonna cook.
con man, arcanism, weird silver flames, raising the dead. I don't know. I just want stew, and I want a
Where
stew.
do you have a physical map I can look at?
Shark back to
That black folder
Love it.
that John has.
What?
The black your black folder that has the maps.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
What
do I
about-
have them in our blue folder?
You have some maps in your blue folder, but that black
Most
folder
detailed.
is all maps.
Okay, I just need to. Yeah, I need maps. Thank you.
as Zara is heading back downstairs to where, everyone else is, she
You took a
gets
pendant?
one last look at the flickering silver flame,
Okay.
almost debating if she should take it with her, but she decides against it
Okay.
and goes back.
I guess
Uh,
if you want.
You leave the door that window open.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
You're gonna close your window. Okay.
Leaves a very small
It-
pendant,
it
not worth
has-
that much. Takes a very expensive mason's.
It has started to rain, so it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Stealing weapons and very precious metals, I'm fine with. Leaving a small trinket, that's where I draw the line.
It's not just a trinket. I'm gonna grab you by your scruff.
Do I walk past them?
Yeah. Are you walking up?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
You
walk
hear me
past
rumbling
Duke,
about,
and you wait for Duke to come down the stairs, and you walk up the stairs and see Dari upstairs closing the window, and you see Bonka writing a very angry letter.
I'm writing notes. I'm
What
busy.
did you all do to the goblin?
She has like lights all over her board.
So now you understand what I said.
That's what he meant.
You're right. The angry letter.
I am.
Dear Sir, Madam, our country,
I'm just
my people's
explaining to
country.
them how maybe if we get the right kind of pack, we can do some silver flame
Look,
skeletons, and this might be really cool.
I don't think they want to be orc-splained. How to do.
Maybe they need to get orc explained, okay? They don't know what they're
Okay, well,
still.
I hate to see. I hate to
What
see him
is
so
in LD reaches?
upset right now.
The
He's
Eldine
like
reaches?
a
Yeah,
broken
what
man.
is there?
What did you do?
I'll need to re-look that up, but I believe that's an area that's been taken over by archfiends.
This
So
is more than
basically,
angry.
we're in the corner between Shadow Marches, Demon Waste, and Arcfiends.
Yeah, you were given some really great area.
I am gonna
I
start
still think
figuring
you're
out my
fine.
battle
You
plan
left-
for
you left
taking
a
over
There's a little
Braylon.
something on the window. You should probably get that though.
Probably not a great idea.
We need to be respected
And
somehow.
so how did
That's what
your
demons-
campaign end? Well, there was a 100-year war that started the campaign, and they restarted the 100-year war.
Because I made
See?
pacts with
I
the
don't think
demon
you're
wastes
alone.
and the swamp
I
mar
think
witches
you
and
should
the
be better
marshes,
off.
and we just said, fuck them all, we're
No.
gonna take over.
Family show.
Sorry.
Dahara!
A party of 8 restarted the war.
I'm Eugene.
We're restarting it because
Dari
we got
is
screwed.
looking
I just want to imagine
Eugene
a
directly
warrior
in
human
the eyes
voice.
like,
It's like, look, guys,
And I
what
am
could possibly go
telling
wrong? And
He
everything
does
went
not
wrong.
live alone.
The spiders are gone.
They are not gone.
Trust me, I know I know what's going on here. As a matter of fact, he did not know what was going on here.
I don't know what I expected.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of research between our next games because I'm
Yes,
trying to
go
figure
back
out how
outside.
to like
Get
create
away
a
from
pack
this
that
place.
Well,
might really screw
you
everything
would
over.
know.
All this
You,
stuff going
you
on.
should read up
I'm
on
gonna
Droam
read
and on that stuff, so because your character comes from there.
Well, I'll come with
Um,
you. I'm getting out of here. I just came back because I don't want to
I
leave
think
all
our
the
fox is
spiders.
afraid of spiders now.
There is no spiders.
Oh, I'm not afraid.
Arachnophobia.
I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm just
Afraid of
of
ethereal spiders.
I am afraid of ethereal spiders.
What would that be considered? It's arachnophobia but with ethereal? Or
Actually,
ethereal
you know what's scary?
arachnophobia?
Cats. Cats. Okay. Those things are ferocious.
And door-to-door sales monks.
Okay.
Trying to sell their wares and candles.
So, what are you guys doing?
We're heading back
Everybody's downstairs now.
I'm pretty much heading. I'm
Vodka is kind of watching you guys out of the corner of her eye as she's reading while she's
Yeah.
walking.
I'm just thinking like where I'm gonna have a lot of research to do. I'm really sorry for what I do to your painting.
I think we're all pretty much making our way back to the inn now while we're all grumbling amongst ourselves and then taking it.
It is
All the way back
a
here. Got my fur all wet.
heavy
Going all the way
and
back.
hot and humid right now, but you see that most people are pretty happy. It's the celebration's coming. There's still people coming into town. More and more people have been coming into town as time has gone on, and you make your way back to the Wentway Inn, which by now has quite a few people. It looks like a large number of the people who've been setting up shops and setting up the different things in town, the tourists and the people running the celebration, have all made their way back to the Wentway Inn. So the main tavern area is pretty full.
Dude,
Most of them being wet and from the rain, and muddy from walking through all of the muddy rain. But they seem to be in pretty happy spirits. There's a band in the corner playing some music, and Pat is moving around with a large platter of ales and food, collecting up tips and drinks.
So Duke makes his way back behind the bar. You hear a bunch of grumbling. He's not really looking at anybody, just looking down, just like, and very accurately just weaving around people that are like drinking and marrying around, and does it like you would expect him to have bumped into somebody or somebody bumped into him, but just making his way through, going back to the bar, and Pat probably is like, what? That's Duke's just stew, and just walks back in. So starts preparing the stew.
Okay. Stew! And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. So we will be right back.
check your body, check your body.
Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together.
Check your body.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Human friends, we need your help.
The storm's getting worse. Our exploratory diving fellas.
The escape the money is here in Perry.
Wong and his assistant Mary Nelson have managed
Our computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific. We'll start searching that area immediately.
Did you know that you can subscribe to the channel for free if you have Amazon Prime? It's true. All you have to do is sign into your Amazon account, and then go to gaming.amazon.com. On the left side of the screen, under your name, it will ask you to link your Twitch account. Once that's done, just head over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gamersledge. You'll have an option to subscribe using your Twitch Prime. It costs you nothing, but helps support the channel. There is one catch: it runs out in 30 days, so make sure you come back and click the subscribe button again next month if you want to continue supporting great shows like this one. Thanks for helping. Be excellent to each other. And game on.
There's new items in the merch store. Head to bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. That's all one word, Gamers, Ledge, Merch, to check out the newest, latest and greatest gifts like mugs, t-shirts, mousepads, stickers and more. Show some love for the show creators. They get a cut from each item sold, whether it is a Notice Me Senpai DM t-shirt, or a mug that helps you clarify when a point needs to be made in conversation. There's still a few minutes left in the break. You've got time? We will be here when you get back. Visit bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. Be excellent to each other and merch. I mean, game on.
Alright, and we're back. Duke is just finishing his stew. You can see after a little bit of prompting, Teak lets you know that the older man, most of the rooms have been already kind of rented out and people have already moved their stuff in. So they actually moved Morren, the sage, to a bathroom they use for some of the younger stable hands and that kind of stuff. So there's a cot just past the kitchen where Morren is resting. Yeah, it's kind of loud in here. What would you guys like to do?
You want to tell him about the chest? What do you think you
I'm gonna want some stew first, and then I'll tell him about the chest.
Okay.
We should get some food bowls with noodles and meat on top, maybe some rice on the bottom.
What? This sounds delicious.
Some gummy noodles?
Yeah, some gummy noodles with some rice, and then maybe like a fried egg on it. With some pork belly. Be delicious. Or you can get the beef.
I feel like this should be the whole campaign.
He's describing a very specific Karnath dish. Karnath barbecue dish.
It's a Karnath barbecue dish with a side of 12 cookies.
So how was it? Was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, I didn't care for the noodles as much.
They're different. The rice noodles are different. They went to soul food. It's the Korean
Science
food truck.
Sweet potato.
Oh yeah, right.
You got halfway through it before you were full.
I ate the meat.
Which meat did you get? It's probably a conversation we should have had during the break. Yeah. Alright,
So, I bring out the stew for whoever's downstairs. We've got our own table as regulars set aside, so I bring out literally a small cauldron with a ladle, and I throw down 6 bowls onto the table. They're all stacked up with bowls that you think they fall over, but they've met, they're able to just kind of balance themselves back into the stack.
I start digging into it like, oh, by the way, there's a chest upstairs. I need some.
Look, I've stopped killing people for a little while. Give me a break before I carve open someone's chest. Well,
It's talking about a treasure chest.
I think I was talking about a treasure chest.
no. We should have said that before.
Well, in my defense, I was kind of shocked by it too. Oh,
You can't call people.
no.
That's specious.
Oh, Victor rolled up there.
Victor is upstairs with 10. Watch your over 10.
Completing his objective.
I kind of picture him kind of like Alexa. Victor, play a song. Victor, turn it down. Victor, hold his chest.
Victor, conduct a revolution of the people.
Something makes me think that that's not how,
Victor really lives.
that's not how Victor is really played, yeah. But right now, she is making sure Kenny was safe. With everything that's going on in town.
And who's watching the older gentleman?
Dory's about to go down.
You haven't, it's fairly busy in here. Pat is moving back and forth.
like-
Is that a question you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, if he's watching only Victor, or he's watching Tenno, then let's...
It
they're both the
sounds
same
like
room.
there's a
Back.
yeah. It sounds like one of the stable hands is watching after the older man. He's laying on a cot in the background.
Well, while we're starting the stew and we're like talking about chess, that's like, oh yeah. Pulls out the pouch, puts on the table, still eating the stew. It's like, well, I found these, and then throws out this note and this. Read it, look at
Just
it.
read it out loud. Just
It says, Turtle, here is your payment. Stop convertling. Morren.
Can I see that note?
Okay, so are the labels in a language that I recognize?
Morren.
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 Morren is the name of the sage.
Can I like investigate? I'm just gonna look at these bottles very
Specifically?
Looks like it was not made.
suspiciously.
Alright, so I'm going to describe these bottles as these small bottles as you go through them. Okay? The first one is a small glass vial. It looks like a crystal glass vial. All of them have stoppers of cork that have wax over them. There is a imprinted symbol at the top, but you're not sure what the imprinted symbol means.
What's it going to look like?
The first one is it looks like a rock. Like a carving of stone. This potion's transparent liquid has floating in it a sliver of fingernail. It looks like the fingernail is a large crescent shape, about that long. Sorry, about that long from point to point. So it's a large fingernail. Not a long fingernail, a large fingernail. The potion... yeah. So it's a swirling, transparent liquid. 3 of them have a red liquid that when you kind of shake it, it glows red slightly within the mist, like within the swirling mist.
I think we've seen this one before.
The fifth one, has a yellow fluid that's streaked with black and swirls on its own.
Yellow liquid.
Black.
With black streaks.
Black streaks, and it moves on its own.
That one sounds bad.
Well, I mean, all the others are scrolling.
And the last one, its orange liquid flickers, and smoke fills the top of the container. So it's orange liquid that flickers, glowing every once in a while, and in the small gap between the liquid and the top, the cap, there's like smoke that's moving. And
I call Pat over.
okay.
Kind of wave him down. And I ask, any of these,
Pat is the woman.
oh, sorry.
Teak is the man. How can I help you? Oh, no, go and say it. Oh, yeah, weird. And he's handing out drinks and stuff.
I ask, any of these look familiar to you from your travels?
Where did you find these?
Found these in that container.
Where did you steal these?
In that container?
Yeah, I mean, it's a satchel pouch. I found them in the satchel pouch.
He gives you an eye and goes, well, I
Right.
hope the person that you took these from don't need them soon. He slides the 3 red ones aside and sniffs at their cork and says, whoop, these 2, they're kind of smaller of the 3,
Okay.
says, looks like this is these are healing potions. This one, and he holds it up to the light, and it's the same red, but it's slightly larger, it's a little bit more liquid, and it glows a little bit more. He said, looks like you got yourself a potion of greater healing. He used to be an adventurer.
Like
And
us. They took an arrow with me.
And
If
so
we're,
you can
if
arrow
we're
me.
investigating stuff, can you check these out too?
Well,
Bring up the book and the 3 scrolls.
Oh,
You know anything about these?
those were on top of his, those weren't in the chest. Those were the ones that were the notes for the dissection and looking at them. But that would be so afterward.
but those are out of character. Those are the ones that were with the spider, right? Okay. Yeah. 1 second. I think this one, I've never actually seen one, but I think this one is a potion that lets you breathe fire. And that's the orange liquid with flickering with smoke. These other ones, I have no idea.
Okay.
I apologize. I said it was a picture of a stone. It's actually a picture of what looks like maybe foothills.
Mountains.
No.
Small hills.
Small hills.
Sorry, go check it
You
out.
know that? You care?
On what? Yeah. Sure. He looks at your books and says, ah. He looks at the books and looks back at you and says, I don't know how the old man's gonna feel about his property going this way.
He looks at me?
He looks at the books, goes, ah. I hope the old man doesn't get upset about his property going this way.
I raise my hands and walk away.
And he says, looks like he was studying some kind of creature. To be honest, I've never been a mindful one that understood why somebody would want to do that, not just kill it. But he was doing some sciences into a specific breed, it looks like. Some kind of more intelligent spider.
It almost killed him, by the way. She's like, as she's walking away, she's like, it almost killed him, by the way.
Into the loud cavern with everything.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. I don't know why you have these things living with you.
I'll have you know, nothing says I'm keeping these. I never said I was keeping them. We're taking them away from there, but we're also gonna. I was asking what the note and what that means. That's also. But once he wakes up, if he wakes
So
up,
much of this problem.
says the
You
person who
burned his
stole
house?
his family's mace.
Okay. You know, Dari walks back.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Dari walks back, and can Dari like?
Well, let me. What had happened
There
was.
was a giant spider.
Ethereal fighters.
Are you there?
Character to you.
Are you there?
No, I'm just asking.
I'm out of character to you.
You don't know what it was, so I'm not telling you what it was.
Okay, so there was a very, very large spider.
I imagine it was one of these ethereal face spiders that he writes about in this book.
That was exactly what it was, and it was actually quite enormous and terrifying. It actually disguised itself as him for quite a long time.
For how long?
I do not know.
I saw him last week. You mean I could have been talking to a spider?
You could
The
have.
spider talk back?
Did he have mandibles?
No, he looks like his normal. Now that you mention it, though, he did do a little jig when I brought him the extra seeds. So I'm not sure. That's strange.
We don't know how long he was there, but his house is. It took us a bit to get out of there alive. They almost did.
They?
Can you? She's in the room, no?
Nope.
You told me you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I'm writing. I have plans.
our friends-
Vodka is literally in one corner with the three
Maps
books
and like
and
books
maps.
and like a
She
letter.
she pushed some of the locals off of their table so that she could spread some stuff out.
I'm pretty sure she's like taking chairs to build a fort around it so no one gets near her.
I'm studying.
World domination? Is that what's going on?
One of our friends nearly died, and some of
She's
some
redrawing
of it
the
got
map for
damaged
each
in the
country, what their
process
countries
because
look
of
like
some.
After she finishes.
I'm
You were
listening.
allocated 1/3 of what you have.
I'm listening.
Some of the property got some of the things that he had there that were covered in spider webbing got damaged during the battle.
What battle? I don't remember ever being anywhere. What are you trying to say? I feel like, are you admitting to a crime that you have committed with which I was never associated? How dare you! I walk back in the
Slowly
kitchen.
turning her head towards him like
talking
as a
about the spider
threat.
stuff,
Well, I hope you didn't burn any of the stuff that I paid him to find. He's really good at finding, well, he was really good at finding items and stuff, and I ordered a bunch of costumes and fireworks and stuff for this celebration.
Yeah, I don't know why somebody would admit and incriminate themselves to a person while the person that was there that owns it is passed out. and telling everybody about the acts of which they have done. Anyways, back to my stew in the kitchen. Slowly backs away.
You
I
can
was never
see
here.
The absolute frustration on her face as she's trying to keep a happy bouquet.
So, anyway, you did in the spider, correct?
Correct. It is.
So is it safe if we are able to bring him, to get him back on his feet, is it safe to take him over there?
Correct. There may be a bit of cobwebs still there, and hot embers, and likely some sort of.
More spiders?
No, there were no more spiders. I checked.
Pretty sure there were more spiders.
I checked for you. You should trust me more than you later than I.
I got bit by spiders, so I think I know
I
what
killed the
spiders
spider
are like.
that bit you. I literally blew it up.
He takes a step away from you.
She looks. Yeah, that's probably for the best. She looks kind of.
I literally blew it up. You're just incriminating yourself more and more.
What is she doing?
I don't know, the very peaceful person who stole a mace and
yeah.
talked about how he...
Back to him.
While he's
You're
back-
not there.
I know.
While he's backing away,
I'll
like,
explain
can I
to
get
him what
another
happened.
ale?
He what?
Can I get another ale?
He leans over and plucks one up from the bar. It looks like there's a couple people behind the bar that are kind of fulfilling orders and stuff, and he hands it over.
Dari looks on
Thanks,
the
man.
verge of tears from the absolute stress she's under right now. She's like, can I please just go talk to you?
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. Go ahead.
And then she's just going over there with like.
You make your way back. It's through the kitchen. You see Duke standing over his
As
cauldron.
she's passing, she gives Duke like a death glare.
Duke's just looking at her like, you're a young rookie, just telling everybody the crimes you committed. You'll never get to my age. And also, stop giving me them googly eyes. I told you, I'm taken.
What
How
if
old are you?
she's gonna punt him and it's
I mean,
gonna
old
be
for
hilarious.
Not that old, but old for a goblin.
So we're gonna go interrogate the old man?
Well,
Just
you
me?
left already a while ago when you were like, oh. So
No,
where'd you walk back?
I
just walked
sure
away.
did.
You see, as you walked away, you see Dari, and Dari says, I'm gonna go talk to the old man. And
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
you're gonna go too? Okay.
I'll go with, but I'm carrying my
As Grokthar walks
No.
past in the kitchen, I'm like,
Oh, I'm still
see,
following.
he knows. Good job, disassociating from yes.
She debates throwing something at him for a moment.
What are you doing, Yuji?
Oh, I'm going with them. I'm just bringing my food. So.
Okay. So
I pass him
I see
stew
them
and a muffin.
walking with a purpose, and you kind of observing behind them, carrying a plate of food and your ale, just kind of eating and drinking, watching the thing happen.
As
Exactly,
he's
that's-
as he's walking past, I literally ladle in some more stew and put in a roll on top of it.
Yes.
And you guys make your way back to the back room. It's actually kind of a storeroom that is converted into a secondary bedroom. There is a small set of stairs. It shows a ladder here on the map, but it's actually a small set of stairs that goes up, turns sharp, comes up, and then there's a loft up above that has a bed and a side table, a small cot, and the old man is actually laying on the bed. Sitting near him is the same half-elf boy that they sent as a runner to the healers, and one of the human healers that you had seen out at the Seven-Sided Temple that seems to be kind of just monitoring the situation and reading the book. As you guys approach, she nods and she says, okay, be careful, yell for me if he wakes. And she heads down the stairs, taking the small child with her.
Victor goes to or I go to Victor.
Okay.
That's right.
Alright. So you, Grokthar, and Yuji are standing at the bedside.
Is he conscious?
He looks like he's asleep. But his color has almost entirely returned. And you see two scars, well, several scars along his neck that did not heal clean. They're heavy scarred tissue on his neck, probably where he was bit.
I accidentally bumped the bed.
Accidentally on purpose bumped the bed.
Question.
Yeah.
Is the mic on?
Yeah.
It's red.
It's solid. Okay, I'll try to remember if it was
Blinking is muted. As you bump the bed, it still seems like he's out.
Do you have a wake spell or something?
No, he needs to sleep.
Do you think he wants some stew?
Yeah, he probably wants to sleep.
I just waved the stew.
Flapping his face.
He has nice. Maybe if he has nice.
Oh wow. He goes. Where am I? What is that smell?
Oh, dude. You can have this one. I've already had like 2 or 3 bowls.
He kind of props himself up and pulls the stew to his mouth. It's hot. The fresh ladled spoonful was straight out of the cauldron, and it's steaming as it pours down his chin and shirt, but he's still trying to take it in as fast and as much as possible.
I see that, and I look at him like.
And it does the same. Most of what's in the bowl in the cup goes over him and onto the blankets. The weakness in his arms and kind of neck is making it so that he's kind of trying to shotgun the food and liquid into his mouth, and you can hear him kind of choke and sputter a little bit as he's trying to get it in.
Please slow down. It's
I'm out of food.
So hot. My skin is burning.
Now it's so cold. Is that like the reverse of icy hot?
And he hands you back the bowl with a weak hand, and then hands you back the kind of clay mug that you handed him.
I'll take 4 more.
Thank you. And he's holding his stomach. Probably was not a good idea for him to eat so much so fast.
Especially with
Is the
hot.
roll still in?
It's laying on the bed next to him.
Alright, that's like, cool. Just grab the roll.
Never let
What's the last thing you remember?
He's taking a bit of the sheet and kind of trying to wipe off his mouth. I'm not even sure where I am now.
what's the name?
What's the last thing you remember? When drinking stew?
I remember waking up after hearing glass breaking downstairs. I thought that those boys were back, the ones that give me trouble. But it was not the boys, was it?
The Hardy Boys?
The went
The Wednesday?
way.
Sir, you are in the wet way.
Oh, Teak. That's good. He's a good man. Yes.
I am afraid that you may have been out for a while.
What day is it? What day is it? It's dark here.
I'm asking this out of character because I don't know what day it is.
It's 2 days.
2 days till festival.
2 days until the festival.
It's 2 days until the festival.
That's nearly 3 weeks.
Oh no.
Well, did you were the ones that found me then?
Yes. I'm afraid you should probably refrain from investigating into that little spider.
Well, yes, he almost killed me. I'm just glad that I'm the only one that it attacked. I can't think about how bad it would have been if it grew or if it attacked anyone else.
So you can see
I don't know if my heart could take that kind of stress.
Don't tell him.
You You're out there.
No one attacked, huh?
It
Bring
was
upstairs.
it was so small.
I hit the top of the broom. Shush!
The eggs were so small. I mean, it couldn't have been larger than a house cat.
Cat!
Thank you so much for finding me. I imagine I was probably in bed, so I'm sorry for the mess. But thank you for bringing me here and, I mean, returning me somewhat. I'm feeling a lot more healthy now than perhaps I've felt in a long time. Though, I fear my muscles are still weak. And he kind of collapses back into the bed.
You need to rest, sir.
Yes. But I have deliveries that I have to make. Things that, if the celebration's only 2 days away.
If only I had adventurers like you to help me with this quest of mine.
I need someone with a strong back and a strong pair of legs to carry it out.
She kind of just
These
slowly
look like
looks
big
at you.
strong hands.
Why is there an exclamation point like pulling out his head?
Huh?
She has the weights.
Can you should ask him about it?
Yeah, sure. Tahari slowly takes out the mace that she found.
I have not seen that in a very long time. I see that you went through my house.
I was trying to make sure there were no.
How were they? My family. They are safe? Thank you.
They're here.
That was... You just ate them. They were in the stew.
They'll be with you always for the next 24 hours.
That tangy
that was in the box. I actually was not able to pick it up. No. I always found it too heavy to lift. No. You have saved my life and protected my belongings.
It's fine. She puts on any stuff there. Take it off.
I can't think of how much damage that spider might have done if given the time to grow or eat other people. So it is yours. It is a small payment of my meager allowances. Please keep it.
Plus everything else.
If you've taken anything else from my house, I guess it's yours too, because I had no choice.
He definitely doesn't say that.
You run me high.
Why? He's telling you to keep it as payment for saving his life.
Did I save his life? This house is in shambles.
Well, I'm going to cast spell destruction.
Who are the rest of you? I don't recognize your species.
Oh, I'm a fox.
You sure are. A what?
Fox.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we're a small tribe. We don't get out too often.
I imagine so.
Yeah, but it's alright. We're spider bros.
That is good to hear. Good to hear.
We're spider bros. And he's just like, yep.
You're a tall one.
So what were you up to with the spiders?
Sadly, my curious mind has, over the course of my life, gotten me into a bit of trouble. There was a folktale I once heard of using the webbing.
I come upstairs telling them about that.
There was a folktale I read about the webbing that you could pull from something like this, that you could use it with some arcane tweaking to capture spirits. So I was going to try and harvest the webbing of these creatures. Sadly, with it being so small and now dead, I assume, with such large, strapping individuals, that I will have to seek adventurers to go and find someone.
There's plenty of webbing in your house, in your place. There's plenty of webbing on the second floor, right?
Really?
I wouldn't know.
Wait,
When-
you're trying to
When,
what, in the webs?
with the spiders so small, it shouldn't have been able to produce that.
Oh, there were not small
I reached-
spiders
I reached
whatsoever.
my shirt,
They
like,
were
under my
huge
arm,
and they
and
had
it's
your
like,
face.
"Nelson."
It was super weird.
What? My face?
Was
Large
I not supposed
spiders?
to tell him that?
Oh no!
I she's just slowly pushing her.
It fed on others.
Oh, wait,
What?
wait.
Wait.
But what?
Are they not supposed to feed her others?
What have I done?
We took care of it.
We
We
would really
burned
like to
so
know what
much
have you
stuff
done.
down.
Oh, sorry.
What happens if they bite someone?
Oh, silver flame, what have I done?
Oh, this
I'm
sent
slapping
this
a
one.
hand over her
This
mouth
one
and
is a
shoving her
spider
down.
fighting master. Oh my gosh.
What
And I
happens if
burned
you're bit?
so much stuff.
Roll me a strength and athletics. Roll me a strength and athletics or dex and acrobatics, whichever one is better.
He wants to know what happens at your bit.
I rolled a natural one.
As you dive across the room to try to stop Vodka from talking, you trip and collapse into the floor next to where Vodka is. I'm not entirely sure. What I had read about these specific spiders was that their poison, their ichor, had a almost had a tonic property where it could put you into a deep sleep, so that it could feed on you later.
Do you know what month it was when you fell asleep last?
3 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks.
Okay, so a little sus there.
She's just standing.
What's a little sus?
Well, a little suspicious that you wake up after a three-week nap and you don't think your spider's got any better?
I have never seen one and how fast it grew.
Were you trying to put the souls of people into spiders?
When you last saw the spiders, how big were they?
They? There was only one. I heard a breaking glass and then woke up here. I assume it struck or attacked me while I went to investigate, but I don't remember what size. But I mean, the egg sacs were only this big. At most, it had to have been this large.
How many spiders do you think could be in
How
that
many
little sack?
egg sacs?
One.
Oh, but how many babies are in egg sacs?
One.
Really?
I just, when you put a candle behind it, you can see one spider.
You only ordered one?
I'm starting to get a hint that perhaps what I thought was not the case.
But we
I
took
turn
care
around
of
and
it.
I lift my fur to show my bites. I think there's quite a few things that we should all be telling each other.
So, but the Silver Flame did send this wonderful warrior who is obviously worthy there to smite all of them spiders, which we did at
All
least.
of them spiders?
I'm sure it was just one bouncing all over the place because it kind of
You can clearly see that she's starting to lose her composure.
Dari is starting to stand up.
Oh
He's
no,
running around.
no.
did that. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to say that?
Actually, I'm starting to wonder, how long has that been?
I'm sorry, but shouldn't he be understand the responsibilities of his actions? He didn't know better. That's not an excuse.
You see the old man's face go white with the realization after he sees your bite marks, and he passes out.
Ignorance of the law
If
is
you
an
killed
excuse.
that man, I swear to goodness gracious, you're gonna be next.
He fell asleep. He probably
He's
just needs more.
old and playing with spells he doesn't understand.
probably needs
and
just more
unleashing
stew.
magic spiders on everybody.
Can I
He
check
kinda
his
needs to
pulse?
understand.
Sure. You reach under his jaw, give me a medicine check, and your hand is now covered in ale and stew.
It's fine.
Feel free to lick your hands. It actually tastes pretty good.
It's 9. I rolled a 9.
And you have a 0 on
You
medicine?
feel
Wait, no, I rolled a 9 in
Plus-
general.
No, but what's your medicine?
I rolled 4 and then I rolled an.
Oh, okay, yes.
You add +5, yeah. You are pretty sure you feel a pulse. He's warm. But that might be the stew.
Let me check him.
So he's out, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he passed out. The stress and guilt was too much.
I rolled a 9 as well.
You are also covered in stew and ale now. And now your clothing is. But you're pretty sure you feel a pulse, maybe?
I'm sure you just
Although that could be the beats of the
Walk
music.
it
From
up.
downstairs.
I should probably read this book then, or someone should. Either way, I'm going
Should
back
Dory
downstairs.
go get the guy?
What?
Should Dory go get the...
He's waiting down at the door. So as you guys start making your way out, he goes back in, and it looks like he just passed out. Although he's covered in a mess that the healer looks at you guys like, what the hell did you do?
We're trying to make him
He
feel
was
better.
really hungry.
It looks like you threw food at him.
So-
Wake up! Wake up!
You look like you're thirsty. You haven't eaten in a while.
Was it overboard? Throwing roots in her mouth?
Yeah.
So, just for this old man's sake, I would like him to be put into a place where he doesn't have to be by himself, going crazy, making spiders out of his family or whatever he's trying to do. So can we, like, is there a, like a old folks home?
You're trying to put him into an asylum, like
No,
without
I'm
help.
trying to put him into a home so he's someone taking care of him. He's by himself in a tower making magic spells from a con man.
Are you telling me you want him to sign over all of his life
You
and
hear-
possessions so you can help afford it?
As you're making your way back out in the tavern, you hear, "Oh, man."
I'm sorry. Someone needs to take care of his affairs. He needs family or someone to take care of him. He doesn't have friends.
Well, he had family.
Someone needs to take care of him. He's old.
Dory looks
You
like...
take care of your old.
Dory looks like she's on the verge of like...
Because I'm asking for someone to take care of an old man.
Hey Duke, more stew.
Alright, so
upstairs.
what do you guys do? You went up to Victor.
Yeah.
So Victor is sitting at the foot of Tenno's bed, feet propped up on the edge of the bed, and it looks like he's meditating while cleaning out his handgun, the gun that runs up his hand. And as you enter, you see that he takes his feet down and slides the chest towards you.
Ooh.
I didn't want to touch it. I'm afraid that something might have gone off.
Well, I'm sure you've not had that problem before.
No,
Yep.
doesn't
Trust
even
me.
compute.
If it was a joke, he would catch it. His reflexes are strong.
Tenno looks pretty
I
much
used-
the same as he did before.
He doesn't care about Tenno.
I'm still gonna throw it out there.
He's laying on my bed. He's been watching him. I don't have healing stuff. Yeah, what am I gonna know? I mean, that's his logic. He's like, I'm not a medical guy.
Yeah.
He takes a mirror and puts it under his armpit and goes, "Yep, looks good."
I'm surprised nobody asked him about these notes. Who the old guy, who Tara was. But,
Everyone was busy trying not to tell him about
trying to tell about the audacious crimes he committed.
You probably
So it's
somebody.
inspection with the tools, so +6, or I'm using the tools to try to open up the chest.
No, like
Nat 20.
Yes.
26 total. It's a nat
Wow. Give me a perception check too to look for the traps.
I can't. Yeah, it is funny, I can't
26,
read it.
that's nice.
I can't read it. It's a
20.
lot.
To look for the traps as well. Perception.
Roll twice?
Well, you have to do another roll. So yeah,
Yes,
I can reply.
he's rolling perception technically first, and then he's
18.
rolling the other. As you are kind of looking at it, you're using your picks to kind of take a peek at the lock. You see that there is in fact a trap on this lock, but you recognize the style and the make. It obviously wasn't a trap that he put into this. It's a trap built into this type of chest. So as you kind of fiddle with it, you hear a click, and a needle about 2.5 inches long pops out of the lock, where normally a hand would be. But since you are using your picks and you're being very careful and you recognize the lock, your hand's not there. You can see the tip of the needle has a shiny green metallic, like almost like paint on it. And as you open the chest, you can see that it is mostly gold pieces, some silver pieces, and a couple gems.
I assumed that Victor was roughly behind me, so
He went back and sat down.
Oh. He's up.
I mean, he's still looking over at you, but...
Well, as if he was there, and I'm like, oh, Victor! I basically have tweezers, so I'm just picking the needle out of the chest, and knowing that Victor's going to look at me when I do that, and it goes past, it just goes past him, and hits the wall.
Okay.
Hits.
You hear a... as the needle is now somewhere in the room.
Nice.
Santa's gonna step on it first thing when they wake up.
And goes like,
This is a shared bedroom.
I know.
Someone's gonna step on it.
So it hits the room, you see Duke look over like, well, I'm sleeping on this side of the room. That did not work out as I expected. I start basically tossing coins behind me. I'm just trying to get into the bottom of what's there, make sure there's not all this is coins. All this coin, I put them back in, but I was just, it's...
You get through several layers of coins, and you find a small ledger at the bottom of the. It looks like it hasn't been used in a while, but as you flip through its pages, you can see that the sage would take out alchemy requests, and usually in trade for items or equipment or spellbooks, but often it was for coins, and this is probably all of the coins he has in this small thing.
So I put all the coins back in, and then on the top of the pile I put the pouch of potions, and it goes back in.
Please tell me you're going back.
You find 66 gold pieces, 72 silver, and 4 large gemstones. You don't know that.
So yeah, and then on top of the coins is the potions. So then after that, I push the chest back to the foot of the bed, sit on it, look to Victor, and then go about little the night, saying, I think that was waiting for the rest of the group to finish their shenanigans.
Alright, so where do you guys headed? It's not
There's
long.
probably just a bunch still in our cauldron.
I've eaten at least 2 as well.
So are you still heading upstairs?
Yeah, I've already eaten something else.
Okay. About to start?
What time of day is it?
Probably, I mean, it's probably about 4 or 5 in the evening. Yeah.
I guess we'll just sit down and eat.
Okay.
Wait to see if we can quickly see it.
Okay. You know Duke went upstairs but hasn't yet returned. After eating a couple bowls, he's just everywhere. After eating a couple bowls, Yuji decides to go up looking for Duke. Dari.
Dari goes up to the rooms.
Okay. Vodka.
I'm questioning the innkeeper if he knows what kind of trade packs Carmen has with the dwarves.
As you are starting to tell your story of why you're asking this
No, I'm not.
information,
Yeah, okay.
his eyes glaze over.
Okay.
And then he slowly slides you a drink. Unlike the normal clay ale cups, this one's much smaller. It's made of copper, and it smells like paint thinner. And then he slowly moves to help another customer.
The vodka land. The vodka land.
Alright, it's not long before Dari joins both of you up in the room.
So you walk in, and I don't know what Victor does.
Great
Oh, did you manage to just
So you walk in after him?
Yeah.
But there's no, are you just asking straight up? Because it doesn't look like the chest has been touched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this had some weird kind of word that was coming out of this. There's some kerfuffery with it.
Yes. Fluffer. Sounds right.
Well, it's got one of those who's and ands that when you open the what's and it's then you gotta go and you gotta you don't even want it. The fact is,
Duke sounds
Duke sounds. She doesn't trust Duke as much as everyone else.
so I did close and lock it when I
Yeah.
closed it, but the point of view.
I just sit down so I read the spider.
It's up.
He slides you the chest. It's fairly heavy. It's about 30 pounds for a chest this big.
She's moving it over and she's kind of like kneeling down and he didn't.
It was locked before, so he relocked it.
He
What do you
relocked.
mean you relocked it? He hadn't opened it. Or at least you don't think you did.
There's nothing so far that looks like it has been opened. They asked if it was locked, and yes, it is locked.
Yes, it is locked.
I move closer and go, did you open the chest? I go back to work.
You bet. Oh, I'm so tempted for her to just like.
And hit it with a mace.
I thought you were good.
Just let it break it open.
What?
And it breaks all 6 of those
Alright,
knives.
I have talked to the old man. Yeah, I've done my part. Now all of his stuff is mine.
As she breaks the mace, breaks the chemical potions, which melt all the gold and silver, and none of the stuff stays usable.
Can she even open it if she doesn't have one?
You could try using, I mean, I guess maybe sleight of hand to try. I would think sleight of hand would be your closest to.
Do you have lockpicks?
That stuff probably belongs to
Then
the old
it's going to be
man.
at disadvantage. You're going to roll 2d20s and take the lowest.
Okay.
I would put that on like a source.
Run by Hag's Land of Monsters. I feel like we are being slandered. Just because we're technically run by hags.
A 10?
We have monsters.
10 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You're not able to unlock it. But you also don't have a lot of training in that area.
What are you doing?
It's just a steel hands, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't he over there? You can just ask him.
Why are you trying to open it?
Okay, she's just slowly picking up the chest.
Where are you
And, they all
taking
call,
it?
and I turned to Victor, whispering about, and they all call me a thief.
Where do I find out about like the political what's the word?
Where are you going with the old man's chest?
Bringing it back to the old man.
He's asleep.
I'm sure he'd like
I need
his
to
chest back.
gossip of everything Corvair.
Yeah, when he wakes up. For now, it's right here. We got us and we got the robot man.
I have a high enough.
He's our sentry.
She's just gonna give you a look that says, I don't trust you in the slightest.
Left. Alright. So you are carrying the chest out of the room?
Would it be recommended, and I'm asking this because I'm not very experienced, would it be recommended to take the chest back to the old man?
Yeah, it's she really should want spells.
Who's she asking?
I'm asking out of character.
Oh.
Jay is saying that Jay does not have a lot of experience. And so Jay would like suggestions.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we're just passing time while
What are
he's
they
waking
gonna
up.
do? Attack you?
Are you trying to talk about the chest or just in general for time?
I'm talking about, like, bringing the chest back to the old man.
You can still take it back. Take it and just leave it as
That's up to
put it
your
as bed or
what would your
whatever
character-
you do.
What would your character do?
Yeah, I just
So,
can't get this.
I think you're speaking very quietly.
I hate having a guilty conscience when it comes to freaking characters.
You're playing a character that would probably have a would have a conscience.
Yeah,
So it
out of
makes sense.
everyone here, the only one with a conscience.
No.
No conscience. I just don't see a reason why we take the chest to him right now. I mean, he's asleep. He wouldn't even know it's there. You know, honestly. We don't even know what's in the chest. It could be something to do with the spiders.
Sure.
We don't know what sort of what's that word you use again?
Kerfuffle.
And you know what? I think I'm going to build more fluff by walking into the direction where he threw that freaking spider.
That's not adding. You first of all, you don't know that's what he did.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of walking in that direction because.
That's where the open beds are. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Should I roll?
No, because you're wearing boots.
Oh yeah. So I just hear a
Go to
crunch.
sleep. That's what you have to worry.
You just hear a tink as
I'm just gonna slay my head back into this pillow. Oh!
What in the world is going on?
Jay was trying to add drama by walking into the area that has the poison needle.
Oh.
But I'm wearing
boots and armor.
I should probably get out of it. My character's probably exhausted.
It's been a long
Look at
day.
another room.
You have 2 rooms right now.
She's just gonna.
You have a room that the guys are in. You have a room that the ladies are in. Yeah.
Can I get a rush?
No. You've had enough sweets.
Leave the chest alone. She's gonna get back to you. And then she leaves the room.
Okay.
Just come in and just like yell at me. I've been here the whole time. I looked over and like,
I'm just here to read.
And Dari comes back downstairs.
Comes downstairs?
Yeah, she comes back downstairs.
Chest?
I think that she left the chest in the room. Right?
Yes, she just.
Yep. Okay, so Bajpa's off in the corner, pouring herself over maps, right? You're still upstairs, eating at the table.
Dari's actually going to her room to get out.
Okay, so I can consider myself a little disappointed that Dari Tiefling is a follower of the Silver Flame, right? I can be a little blue by this.
So tieflings are found all over the place in Eberron.
I get that, but the Tieflings I know would never follow the Silver Flame.
That is true.
And I can find that a little weird.
Sure.
You're cute.
Racist.
It's not a racist thing at all. It's a
species thing.
no.
She's a tiefling that's doing things that I don't think is right for a tiefling.
No. It's a thing that doesn't quite work well with me, and I find it kind of
All right.
not racist. It's more like
It's just
know,
I don't agree
like
with it.
faith.
And you're using
But
it.
it's not homophobic. How is that homophobic?
What now?
This has nothing to do with that. With
Then you just
silence.
stop.
I don't know what's happening.
All right. So actions.
Is that a character?
No, it's
He says 5 o'clock.
I wasn't saying
She's
that
taken that back.
No,
Is it still raining?
It is starting to lighten up, but it's also starting to get dark. So many of the people that were in the tavern have moved out back into the town to help clean up after the rain, pull things back out. You've been told that because it's the day after tomorrow, that tomorrow is like a big feast where everybody in town kind of gets together and helps set up the last things, the last stages, and make sure everything's in place for the celebration in 2 days.
So Duke goes down, makes his way stealthily up the stairs to the old man's area, takes his hat, puts it on the old man, ties it, goes back downstairs and go buy some hat. No one sees it though.
Okay.
He just has a hat now.
As you make your way out into the night, you easily find, I think it was, what was the name of the wrestler? Grantar?
Grantar. No. Roman?
Groman. You easily find that Roman merchandise seller. You see that he is crocheting or knitting another hat. He has a couple hats hanging up, and he says, "Oh, hi. How can I help you, sir?"
My friend!
What happened to your hat?
I pull out like 3 jars of canned preserved foods. It's like, oh, here you go. And then I drop 2 copper for the 2 copper for the hats, and I just pick up one of the hats off the thing, and then walk them back.
You didn't even say anything. You just handed it.
I was like, you know, and then I put the 3. I left 3 in.
I was just gonna say, with the price tag,
He already knows the price because he bought like 5 hats. I have a lot written up.
It probably still has the tag on it.
So
it probably still has the tag on it, but there's like, I leave 3 canned Vegas form.
none of it really has tags. But it's been so popular, he actually has been charging more for the hats. But you bought so many of them that he's like, yeah, you can go with the original price, that's fine. He takes you can see as you're walking off, kind of look back, he's opening the preservatives and smelling them, and setting them aside. You make your way back. There's several tents that have people getting wildly drunk and playing music and hanging out and telling jokes. People are getting ready for a heavy work day tomorrow, getting everything done.
And on the way back, I'd like to just keep an ear and listen to see if I hear anything that is. I can't remember if it's this one. Above character. I'm thinking it's Starfinder that you have a know of your own kind for rogues. Like if you see each other, you
No,
have a...
thieves can't.
Okay.
So there's thieves can't, and it's not really a know of your own kind, but you're looking for symbols that might be written someplace, or you're putting special words and phrases into normal speech.
So I'm listening to that on the way back from my land.
Okay. I'll write something up for that. But you make your way back to the Wintley Inn. You guys are kind of getting settled in for the night as the tavern starts to empty out. And
is it late?
I mean, it's probably
It's about 7, and
6
you
or
gotta realize
7.
there's no magical candles to light up, so you only have candlelight in an area.
And most of the people that were in this tavern are people that are tourists or people that moved into town recently for this celebration. While the town itself isn't very large, what I explained before was the town itself used to be a factory town that made weapons for the war. Then the war ended, and all of the factory parts moved downriver. So it has the
shell of a factory.
of a factory town that fills up at the celebration. So a lot of these people are tired from the work today. They know it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, so they're going to go with some good sleep.
That's been happening for like a week.
It's been happening for like a week that people have been coming to town and building stages and building things and acting troops coming in. That's, you guys kind of find that relative peace in the Wentway Inn, knowing that chaos is coming tomorrow in the way of this inn. And as you guys are kind of sitting down at your common table, vodka a little bit off to the side with maps and books spread out around her, Teak kind of hobbles over, his large frame sitting down heavily at the table, and he sets down a pitcher with his blue kind of disjointed magical hand. You can smell it's the house ale, and he sets the pitcher down on the table and says, I think this could be good. We've been filling up our rooms for the last week and a half. We've had people coming in for all manners of meals, and all of them have paid, which is strange. Usually we have to, harass people or send somebody out to collect tabs, but we've made out a pretty penny, and I can say it definitely wouldn't have been so without you guys helping out there in the beginning to get things ready. So thank you very much for that.
Pour myself a cup for the picture, like, happy happy to help. Teak. That's his name, right? Teak.
With his name tag there that says Teak.
We have. I have a favor to ask. Tomorrow, my brother's coming into town, and I haven't seen him since the war. We don't really get along, but he's coming in for the celebration, and I could really use some help to make sure that, let's just say, nothing bad happens to the Wentway or to Pat. I can handle myself, of course, and he kind of flexes his muscles, which at one time you're sure were impressive orcish stature, but he's gotten comfortable with age, and he's a bartender now, and he probably thinks very highly of himself for what his adventuring life had gotten him. And he says, I can take care of myself, but I could use a couple extra eyes watching some backs to catch my drift. There's some coin in it for you. I'll make sure you're well and settled. I don't know if you still have those potions, but I was thinking about it, and there's another person in town that might help you suss out what's what. They're good at that kind of thing.
Who, where at?
Right off, well, I mean, it's too late for him now, but right off of the main street there, we have a wizard of sorts, a spellcaster of sorts that has the ability to look into an item and see its potential. And I hadn't thought of it before because, I mean, how often do adventurers come through with things to spot, you know? But they might be able to help you really get a good factor on those items.
You know, that reminds me. I've been looking, and I'm told to look for a gentleman named Terrell.
Named
Terrell?
Oh, really?
Yeah. They told he might actually have some really good hat ideas.
So, hat ideas?
Wow.
So when this town was still a factory town, the captain of the guard was named Terrell. He lives up north now. He has a farm. I think he farms kern, I think. It's like a wheat-corn mixture. As far as I know, he sells it up north for hops and stuff, for alcohol, but I haven't seen him in years and years and years. He doesn't really come in.
Is that about how far? Half day's jaunt?
I mean, his farm's probably a half day, depending on if you're walking or riding, I suppose. But, so, keep in mind, the lightning rail is about a full day horse travel north of the town.
But I know he's...
Yeah, so by him saying about half a town, or half a day or a day, depending on how you're traveling, you're guessing probably halfway
for the lightning rail.
To the lightning rail.
And the name of the wizards with the potion?
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim.
I think I remember.
J-Y.
The G.
G-Y-M.
Jimothy. That's it.
I've
never heard him say that.
Isn't he a teacher? He's got the gym class, right?
Yeah, it's the one with the potions. Jimothy Apothecary. I remember him. I remember hearing that on the streets.
You can see that look on his face like, what have I done?
Jimothy the Apothecary.
I literally have no idea who you're talking about, but okay. How do you guys do this with him like this? Did somebody hit him on the head or something?
I believe so.
Many times.
And he goes, just kidding, and slaps you hard on the
He
back.
spent many years in the sea, so.
Oh. I didn't know you were. Oh. A galley goblin. You don't see them. You don't see them very often lately. We aren't very close to the coast.
Right. You see a twitch. It's like.
You know the term galley goblin during the war was these usually smaller goblins that were kept on ships, most believed for good luck, but they'd be the ones that handled a lot of the cleaning and stuff below decks.
Well, and
Yeah.
I mean, he was captain of his own ship.
Was
So, yeah. He was
Maybe
captain.
he started as a galley now, then he worked his way up.
He believes he was the captain of his own ship.
Oh, okay.
Until his brother betrayed him.
So if it's all right with you, I'll let you know as soon as he makes it into town, my brother, and we'll keep an eye on him.
What's your brother's name?
Rolf.
Rolf?
Rolf.
Rolf? Like the
Rolf.
Muppet? Like the Muppet Rolf?
Like the Muppet Rolf.
I chuckle under my breath. From the looks of it, he'll tell us when he's in town. He'll tell us when he's in town.
Okay.
Because we're talking about where Keek's going to tell us when his brother's in town, but from the sounds of it, his brother's going to make us aware when he's in town.
He pours you all another drink, and stomps his foot in a very specific way, and you can hear the band who had been, really the band at this point is just a fiddler and somebody on a drum, starts picking back up with a light tune of music. They had been kind of relaxing in the corner, drinking and telling jokes. They pick up with the music again, very kind of light-paced music, and we pan back out of the inn, out of the Wentway Inn, out into the wet area around as the sun's coming down and it's starting to get dark. And cresting a hill, as we pan back, we can see the plains that surround this town. And cresting a hill, there's a very large orc on a very large warhorse. He's in mostly dark and muddy robes, between browns and blacks and grays, with a heavy hood, his brow hiding small, bright eyes. Chains dangle from his saddle back behind, and you can see probably 10 or 15 skeletons all chained together, following the horse as it trudges towards the town in the distance. And that's where we're gonna end
Like
for tonight.
prisoners.
That's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Damn you! This is not gonna make me look very good.
So, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with us here for this session of Eberron Borrowed Time. Again, look for us on Tuesdays at 6:30 when we bring up new and neat episodes. Feel free to drop any fan art and the like, and we will toss it in as well. Hit us up with any questions you have. For me, for all the people here, for all of my players, when it comes to gaming, I just felt like running. You guys have a good night.
Game on.
I need you closer than ever, ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you. I've lived in total darkness, now you're my only light. When you're away, I feel like a shadow in the night. Hold me, and look into my eyes. You'll be saying, oh,
You're watching HMN.